Yeah, this is case number 460 on the calendar in the matter of Thompson versus Webb. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Thompson, Mr. Webb used to be your boyfriend. And
Correct.
He also is the father of a child that you have, a boy.
Correct.
According to your complaint, while you were living together, Mr. Webb filed false domestic violence charges against you, causing you to be taken into custody. While you were in custody, it is your claim that he took property that belonged to you from the house, which was your house.
Correct.
And in addition, he committed himself to paying for one half of your son's daycare.
Correct.
Which he has not done.
Correct.
Mr. Webb says that he rightfully filed an application for a protective order because you attacked him, that he took nothing from the apartment that was not his, and in addition, he says that you made the home environment unsafe, causing him to move, and he wants moving expenses, right?
Correct.
All right, Ms. Thompson, how old is your child?
He's 3 years old.
And when did you and Mr. Webb move into this house together?
About a year and a half ago.
Was it your house?
Yes, it is.
Is it a house, an apartment, a rental? What is it?
It's a rental.
How long have you lived there?
It's been 2 years in November.
So he moved in with you?
Mm-hmm.
After the baby was born?
Yes.
And your name is the only name on the lease?
Correct.
Tell me about the allegations of domestic violence. When did he file those charges?
On November 3rd.
Of 2004?
Correct.
Tell me about the incident that sparked that.
Okay. On November 3rd, I had just came back from school, and I was laying down in the bed, and he came home because we had been arguing a couple of days before the 3rd, and I had told him before the 3rd that, you know, we're not getting along, we need to go our separate ways and make some type of arrangements with our son, Derek. Well, on November 3rd, while I was laying down and he came home, he was like, do you still want us to go our separate ways? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, you're going to be out the house before I am. And I said, no, what are you talking about? He's like, you're going to be out the house before I am. I said, oh, you must have went down and filed a restraining order against me. He didn't say anything.
What would make you think that?
Because we had been arguing all since the end of October.
Well, arguing and restraining
Arguing and fighting.
What do you mean fighting? You mean physically fighting?
Physically fighting.
Okay, that's different. Arguing and physically fighting are two different things.
Correct.
Where I grew up, right?
Right.
Where you grew up too?
Right.
You're arguing, you have an argument. You say, no, that's the wrong thing to do. That's an argument. Fighting is using your hands, weapons,
Correct.
something else. So you were physically fighting.
Correct.
Who was fighting with whom?
He was fighting with me.
Is that right?
Nope.
Okay, so
Okay, so what? Well, I'm asking you a question. Did you put your hands on him?
no, I've never put my hands on him.
Well, when you say physically fighting, explain the physical part of the fighting that was taking place.
Well, in
2
the
weeks before.
bathroom, there was an incident in the bathroom where he took my car keys, wouldn't allow me to take our son to the daycare. He had came home early that morning wanting to take our son to the daycare. At first I said fine, but then he started disrespecting me in front of my son, so I said, no, you're not taking our son to the daycare. So then he took my car keys and went upstairs. While he was going upstairs, he went inside the bathroom. I went to try to get my car keys from him, and he put his arm up against my neck, wouldn't allow me to.
How did you try to get your car keys from him?
Try to snatch him out of his hands.
So you were grabbing and touching him to try to get your keys.
Correct.
And he wouldn't give them to you.
Right.
So who put their hands on who first?
He put his hands on me.
No. You put your hands on him first.
Well, I grabbed the keys, I mean.
How do you grab the keys from somebody? I don't understand that. The keys are in his hand.
Right.
And what do? You
I
grab...
went forward, reached for the keys. He jerked back, and I said, give me my keys. Went for the keys again. He jerked back, and he's like, you're not taking Derek nowhere. And I said, yes, I am, too. I'm taking him to the daycare, and I'm going to work. And then that's when he pushed me up against the bathroom door.
What happened on November 3rd, Mr. Webb?
On November or before November? Well,
when you filed a restraining order, when was that?
November 3rd. Can
I
start?
see what you said in the restraining order, please? Okay, this is what you say. You say on November 2nd, which was the date of the abuse, sir, according to you, she did something to you at your house. I want you to tell me what it is that she did.
Okay. The reason why we were fighting is because I found her prescription for Valtrex.
Your Honor, that is not even relevant.
I found her prescription.
That is not why we were fighting.
Listen to me. Don't interrupt him. You explain to me your version of why you were fighting.
Okay, that's fine.
He didn't interrupt.
I'm sorry.
You filed this case and you said he made false allegations against you and you want to be compensated for that.
Correct.
So I have to make a determination. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Go.
Okay, I found a prescription bottle for Valtrex, and I didn't know what it was. I looked it up on the internet and found out that Valtrex is for herpes. So I found out, I assumed that from the prescription of what it was for, that she had herpes. And
Which she gave to me.
And this I didn't know nothing about.
Okay.
Okay.
So I confronted her with it, and that would cause the arguments and the fights.
Ms. Thompson, I don't know whether I would have added this to my complaint, these allegations, because this
He's
is
lying.
Well, this is his version of what you were fighting about.
Right,
Well, I
that's
have
not
proof.
what we were fighting about.
I have proof.
No, it's not. That's not what we were fighting about. We were fighting because of domestic violence abuse. That's what we were fighting about.
Well, that starts off with something, you know.
That's because he was out going around sleeping around. It wasn't me sleeping around. It was him that was sleeping around.
Well, that's possible, you see. That's possible, but domestic violence starts from an argument over something.
Correct.
So I would not have broached this issue and put it in a complaint if I were in your position, because there were certain things that are embarrassing, and quite rightfully you don't want them aired. But you brought this case.
That's right.
All right, totally up to you. If you want to withdraw that part of your complaint and just proceed with the stuff that you say he took, I'll be more than happy to drop this part of your complaint and we can move forward. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
No, I don't want to drop that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let me tell you something, sir. You knew the drill.
Yes, that's
right. I got it, sir.
But
I got the whole thing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kalita Thompson says the father of her child, Demetrius Webb, made false complaints to the police in order to get a temporary restraining order. Demetrius claims he was in fear for his life.
Okay, now I know what you were arguing about, sir.
Yes.
I just want you to tell me what you alleged she did to you on November 2nd, that you swore to the judge she did on November 2nd, which allowed the judge to issue a temporary restraining order.
Okay, well, she threatened to wreck my car.
That's not true.
I don't want... Go ahead.
She threatened to wreck my car, and while I was holding my son, she threw things at me. She threw glasses, a can of beer.
Listen to me, sir. You got to be very, very careful what you tell me. Because according to what I read, that didn't happen on the 2nd of November. That, according to you, happened in October.
No, that was one incident. There were several.
I asked you what happened on November 2nd.
The 2nd of November, she also threw things at me, and she attempted to snatch my son out of my arms.
You say she punched me in the face. You
Yes,
forgot that?
and I'm getting to that.
Well, get there, sir.
She punched me in the face while I was holding my son.
And she scratched you?
Yes.
According to you. All right. Did you have a trial on this protective order?
No, we didn't have a trial.
What happened with it?
He motioned for it to be dismissed.
Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Why?
Because I was out of the home and I was no longer in danger. So there was no need to continue to restrain an order because I wanted her to see her son.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. Webb. According to what I read here, and by the way, there's nothing contained in this police write-up about you being punched in the face or scratched. But according to what I read, you went and filed the restraining order the day before she was arrested, correct?
Yes.
So that when you went home on November 3rd, you knew that you had already filed for a restraining order.
Yes.
So the day before, you went in to file for a protective order saying, I'm in imminent danger. That's what you said.
Yes.
And what I don't understand, Mr. Webb, is then you went home. You see, if I went to file for a protective order and I was in imminent danger from somebody, I wouldn't go home to where I knew they were living. Why did you go home on the 3rd?
Okay, because they told me they were going to serve her at work, and she came home early that day. I went home. I was going to get some belongings and leave before she got home. She was home unusually early that day.
And when did you discover she was at home?
When I got there.
Was her car there?
Yes.
Well, if her car was outside, sir, then you knew she was home.
Yes.
Then what did you go inside for?
I went inside to get some belongings.
Well, Mr. Webb, what I'm saying to you, sir, is if I were afraid for my life and my safety, I would say, I'm going to wait until they serve this lady. I'm not going to go inside. She came home early. Maybe she got a headache. I'm not going to go inside to where she's at now because I'm afraid. If I were really afraid, if it wasn't a ploy to get a little one-upmanship. Now, let me understand something. After she was arrested, how long did you stay in jail?
Not in jail. I was restrained from my house for 7 days.
So you were out of the house for 7 days.
Correct.
Where was your son?
I had my 2 oldest sons with me, and the youngest one was with him because he said that I would put my youngest son in danger or had some anger management problem.
Okay. And then you went into court, sir, and you withdrew the protective order after 7 days. Is that right?
Yes.
You mean in 7 days you got back together, you discussed things nicely with each other?
No, because the danger was in the home. I wasn't in the home anymore. I was moved out.
So this protective order that you filed, sir, the purpose of it was to allow you to peaceably move out of your home. Is that what you're telling me?
No, the purpose of it was allow me to move out of my home without being attacked.
No, the purpose
Just a second. I said to move out of your home peacefully.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Well, then you were abusing the system, sir.
No, I wasn't.
No, because that's not what you wrote here. It's not what you told the judge. If you had said in your moving papers, listen, we've been fighting. I just want to be able to get my things and move out of the house without any problem, judge would have said, fine. I will give you an order that says that you, in the company of a police officer, may go home, remove your personal property, and leave. That's not what you said here. You said you were in danger, your son was in danger.
In the time when I got the restraining order, I wasn't even planning on moving.
Let me tell you something, sir. When you get a restraining order, common sense dictates that if you are in fear for your safety and well-being, you don't file for a protective order on November 2nd, go home on November 2nd, go home on November 3rd, and then 7 days later withdraw the application once you've moved out. I know exactly what you did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kalita Thompson says the father of her child, Demetrius Webb, owes for making false complaints to the police. Kalita claims he did so in order to obtain a restraining order.
Now, has anybody ever filed for a protective order against you?
Yes.
And who was that?
My ex-wife.
In what year?
In 1990, like 99.
And what happened with that protective order? Was she granted an order of protection or was it dismissed?
Dismissed.
During the time that the protective order was in place, did you have to stay away from your ex-wife?
Yes.
Did you have children together?
No.
Did you have property in the house?
Yes.
Were you allowed to get the property right away or after the protective order was vacated?
After it was served.
After it was served. So you knew the drill.
Yes, that's
right.
That's why.
Mr. Webb, I got it, sir.
But
I
look,
got the whole thing.
I said I was expecting her. They were going to serve her at work, and she came home unused. She came
knew that
home
Just
early.
a second. Are you telling me, sir, that she had some sort of an epiphany and she knew that something was going to happen, so she came home from work early?
I don't know.
Well,
But
I don't know either. All I know is that you filed for this protective order and you had no right to do it. You didn't file it because you were in imminent fear of your life. You filed it because you wanted an
That's
opportunity
not
to get
true.
your
I filed
property
it
out of the
'cause she
house.
attacked me.
Exactly.
I filed it because she
Baloney.
attacked me.
That's a
Don't. Baloney. Now, what personal property do you claim he took that's yours? Don't give me a laundry list. I'm not interested.
He took my clothes, shoes, computer, kitchen items.
I'm not interested in kitchen items.
Well,
I'm not interested
mainly
in...
my clothes and my shoes and my computer.
What would he do with your clothes and your shoes?
Ask him that. I mean, he took even my dirty clothes, underwears and bras, and left only one shoe for each pair.
Let's go. Let's go.
No, I did not take. While she was ordered, I did not take her clothes.
What'd you take?
I took my belongings.
No, you didn't.
Listen, Miss Thompson, if you interrupt again, I'm going to dismiss your claim. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm sorry.
I took my belongings, okay? I took all the furniture in the home, which belonged to me, that I purchased.
What about her computer? Did you take a computer?
Yeah, I took the computer, which was our computer.
Okay. Who purchased the computer?
I purchased the
Be
computer.
careful of what you say to me, because you know I go into it. When you say who bought it, who paid for it?
I did.
Show me.
I don't have, she took all the papers.
Show me.
Right here.
She took all the receipts and
Can I see
everything.
it?
I had this computer ever since I've been going to school. I graduated in June. From the beginning, I started school because all my classes are online.
That doesn't mean
That
she
just shows
purchased it.
proof.
Well, let me see the bill for it.
That's all they gave me was that printout.
Payment history by rental. Is this a...
I rented it from Rent-A-Center, and I was making payments through Rent-A-Center.
Okay, got it. Yeah, it's our computer.
Oh,
No question. It's our computer. Okay. Now, all right, let's leave that for a minute. Let's go to money owed for daycare expenses.
Right.
When do you say he agreed to pay for half of your son's daycare?
I believe it was like November of '04.
And where were you when he agreed to pay for half?
We were at the house.
Before or after this altercation on the 2nd or 3rd of November?
It was before.
So it had to be November 1st. Mm-hmm. Well, tell me where you were both sitting when you had this discussion that he was going to pay for half of the daycare.
In the living room on the couch.
Okay, and tell me about the conversation.
We just made a verbal agreement that he would pay for half of the child care.
Now, when did you make arrangements to go to family court with regard to support for your son?
After November 10th, after he placed the order against me regarding the restraining order.
All right, this is why, Ms. Thompson, that when you lie, it's a bad thing. Very bad thing. Because I'm going to read to you from your complaint that you swore to. You said, Demetrius and I had a verbal agreement that he would pay for half of our son's daycare until everything was resolved in the family court. Now, on November 1st, when you allegedly had this discussion sitting calmly on the couch in your house, you had no family court appointment. You didn't make a family court appointment until you started out with the criminal court with regard to the protective order.
Right.
Right. So you couldn't have had the discussion with him on November 1st.
He had been.
Baloney.
Oh,
Baloney.
God. Okay.
I don't like when you lie. So, you don't get moving expenses, sir. You moved out? Good for you. You weren't getting along? That's the way it goes. I think that what you did was the wrong thing, even though she lied to me, and I usually don't like that, and I would not reward her. But I think that what you did to her by filing this protective order was nothing more than vicious and vindictive. You could have handled it in a much more civilized way by saying, I'm moving out, and you could have moved out your things very easily while she was at work. And you don't have to have her, mother of your child, in a situation where she has a criminal record, where she's taken into custody, where she's served with a protective order, where she's prevented from going to her own home. You did the wrong thing, and that's going to cost you $2,500. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. This is case number 580 on the calendar in the matter of Otterstetter versus Burke. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
He used to be your boyfriend.
Correct.
And well over a year ago, you claim a loan to him to bail him out of jail and for an attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
After he didn't pay you back for the loan, you decided to move into an apartment with him and signed a lease. You were there for several months. According to you, he assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
He was put out of the house. Don't laugh.
I didn't assault her. She assaulted me.
Don't laugh. Anyway, he was put out of the house, and you want him to pay his half of the rent for the entire lease.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Burke says that you put a restraining order on him. He was not permitted to go back to the house, so he's not going to pay for an apartment that he can't live in. And with regard to the bail was a gift because she wanted him out of jail. And the attorney's fees, he really paid for because you deposited all his money into a joint checking account, and he gave you his salary and put it in a joint checking account, so...
Not joint, just hers.
Hers. You gave her money. From your job?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you sign this lease?
Which one?
The one that we are talking about, where you were evicted.
Okay.
And don't be glib with
It was
me.
in,
I don't like it.
September.
September of what
End
year?
of October 2004.
When did you move in?
It was like October 25th. Maybe sooner, like a week earlier.
When did you move in?
I have the lease right here, Your Honor. It's dated 8/26/04.
When were you put out of the apartment?
October 19th.
Did you pay September's rent, your half?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
No, ma'am, it's not.
How did you pay September's rent?
I put all my checks into her account.
For how long?
February all the way up to about September, the end of September.
Yeah.
I also finished
just a
the
second.
job.
Your Honor, that's a complete lie, and I brought all my bank account statements with me. So if he has dollar amounts and dates, we can look on my bank statements and see if there were
On
checks deposited.
deposits.
Well,
It would be
you
around
should-
the 15th and the 1st of every month.
How much did you give him?
Amounts.
Shh, don't speak to him.
Amounts.
I'm
Well,
gonna
look
give
on the
you one,
15th and the 1st.
two, and then I'm going to say goodbye to both of you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you give her on the 1st and the 15th, sir, when you got a check?
About $400 on the 1st, and then be another $400 on the 15th.
Let me see your bank statement. What's this U.S. Treasury?
I am an employee of the government.
National Guard.
Bed Bath & Beyond payroll.
I was also employed there.
Who did you work for, sir?
Ray Hall Construction. It would be Payroll Plus that the checks were from.
I don't see any of that so far.
They should be in there.
Well, I don't see any.
Not there.
I don't see any
It's
in
not there
here.
because you didn't deposit money in my account.
I did.
Opti Brand?
I worked for them as well, Your Honor. I had 3 jobs.
I mean, I have a whole lot of deposits here, sir, but nothing.
And any of them unknown?
No.
Just
No. $30, $40, nothing. No $400, sir.
any big amounts in June?
Now we're going all the way to June. You said since February. I mean, I'm looking.
Well, yeah, go back to June and see if there's any big amounts, about $1,000.
No, sir, I see a couple of small deposits. Listen to me. $40 or $80.
Well, it's kind of funny because she got a $1,600 check that disappeared now.
Nothing in June.
There's no $1,600
There should be
check.
because
Mr.
our
Burke,
old landlord
Mr.
paid
Burke,
us.
Mr. Burke, I'm talking about your money. And
I know,
we're
and my
talking
money
about,
got
and
put
all we're
into her
talking
account.
about is September. First, we're talking about September. You said you paid it.
September, yes, ma'am. But how am I supposed to prove if I ain't got no papers because they're still at my house where I can't go back to?
I don't know, sir.
Yeah,
How-
that's not
why
true
am I-
either.
That is true.
Shh. How much is his share of the rent?
It would be $297.50 per month.
And he paid September.
No, ma'am, he did not.
He paid August.
No, ma'am, he did
didn't
not.
pay it all since you moved in.
No, ma'am, not
Is
a
that
dime.
right?
He did
Oh.
pay. I will give him this. He did pay his half of the deposit, which was $250. That's all he paid.
Are you still living there?
Yes, ma'am, I am. I couldn't get out of the lease.
Okay, this is what I've done. He was there until October 19th. He should have paid both September and October's rent. And from that, I have deducted the $250 deposit, because the deposit you're going to get back yourself when he leaves. And
Actually, ma'am, I'm probably not going to get that deposit back with all the holes that he put in our walls.
Well,
and I have pictures to prove the holes that he put in our walls. So, no, I'm not going to get that money back.
I didn't
Your
know
Honor.
you
well,
didn't put the holes in the
I don't
wall
know
after I
that.
left.
I don't know that, and I suggest that you get a little putty and putty up the walls. So that's $345. You do not get the full amount of the lease.
I'm held responsible for the lease. Why is he not?
No, both of you are.
So why does he not have to pay his half?
Both
It's not
of
my
you
fault.
are.
He thought it was okay to throw
You
me
said it
around,
was okay for me to
and I
move
got a
out.
restraining order. That's not my fault. Why am I being held responsible for this and he's not?
Kristen, listen to me very carefully. Right now, what he owes you for are September and October's rent. Should the landlord not let you out of your lease and decide to sue you, both of you, then you have a cause of action against him for your damages. But to give you that money now is premature, because A, it's possible that you can get a roommate to cover some of the months.
And I have
B, it's possible that the landlord will let you out of the lease. But right now, if I awarded you the money for the lease, what I'm saying is you can live there alone. You've put him out. There was a restraining order. He was told not to come back to the house. Nobody told him to be involved in bad behavior. But you had some clue before that he had a problem.
And there's nothing I could do.
Yes, you didn't have to sign an 11-month lease with him.
And he didn't
If
get
you
violent
have-
until
if you're
after we signed that
If
lease.
you're 22 years old, and when you're 21 years old, you have to front him $500 for bail money, and for a lawyer, you exercise better judgment, and you don't enter into a lease with somebody like that. That's what you do. Now, tell me about this case that you had where you needed to be bailed out of jail, sir.
We had been dating for like a month and a half, and then I had gotten a DUI.
How many DUIs have you had? Look at my eyes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Kiss up to God and say thank you for opening my eyes to the fact that this man is a loser.
I'm a loser, huh?
Big time loser.
And later today,
Me and Mariel dated for a while.
I'm not your therapist, and this is not Montel. Take your hands off your hips, sir. Only attitude here is mine.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kristen Otterstetter says ex-boyfriend Jared Burke owes for bail, attorney fees, and rent. Kristen says Jared was arrested for a DUI.
Go ahead.
I've been pulled over for 3, but I got 1. She paid the $500 to get me out. She won.
You got pulled over, and when you got pulled over, you were taken to the precinct.
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do when you got to the precinct?
I had contacted Kristen. I had contacted my sister.
You called her?
I had contacted my sister to let them know that I was in jail.
And what did Kristen say to you?
Kristen said she wanted to help me out.
And what did you say?
I said she could, but I was going to get out anyways.
And you were working at the time in construction?
No, ma'am.
What were you doing?
I had just got laid off. I was working at a car dealership.
Why didn't you give her back the $500
I gave
bail?
her money because the terms that we had was that I just lived with her. I had a place to live with my brother, but the terms was if she got me out, she wanted me to live with her.
You must be some prize.
I guess.
Must be one of those hidden things that you don't see. You know, like a frog. Maybe somebody kisses you, turn into a prince, but I don't see it, quite frankly, with my naked eye. So you're telling me that she said, this lady who works 3 jobs, said, I'm going to pay you the $500, and all I want in return is I want you to come and live with me.
Yes, ma'am. Why'd I move in with her then? When I had a place I could go to.
Everybody has a place, sir.
Yes, everybody does have a place, but why'd I have to move in with her?
Maybe she's a good cook.
Maybe.
Kristen.
Yes, ma'am.
You're 22 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to figuratively lean over and kiss the ground and kiss up to God and say, thank you, thank you, thank you for opening my eyes before I did anything stupid like having a child with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Like marrying him, like buying a house with him. Thank you for opening my eyes to the fact that this man is a loser.
I'm a loser, huh?
He is.
Yeah,
Big
I'm
time.
You got hit by a car.
Big time. Loser.
You
Who owes
think
her
I'm
300?
thinking
Who owes her
a goody-goody?
$345? Close your mouth.
Well, she's the one who hit me by a car.
Close your mouth. $345 for the rent. $500 for the bail. How much for the lawyer?
$1,000, Your Honor.
Show me $1,000 for the lawyer.
It's a check that I wrote.
What happened with his DUI case?
Yeah, and that's the reason that I did have to stay, is because I will admit I was stupid, and I signed his bail, and therefore I had to keep track of him. Otherwise, the courts would have come after me for $5,000.
Don't tell me that that's the reason, Kristen, because I don't believe it. Not for a second. Are you telling me you let him move in with you so that you could keep track of him?
No.
Were you keeping track of him at night, too?
No.
Huh?
I offered him a place to stay because he said he could stay with his little brother, but his little brother kicked him out.
Kristen, listen to me very carefully, sweetheart. I don't even think your mother's buying that. For some strange reason, I hope you just had a lapse in judgment.
Yes, I did.
You seem like a hard-working girl who's got everything in order. I'm very impressed with what you've done with your life so far as your work history is concerned. Don't pick on losers. You're a terrific gal. Pick on a winner.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the bail, $500, $1,000 for the lawyer, and $345 for his rent. 2 months. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just figured, you know, if somebody could help give him a fresh start, he may be able to change his life, and obviously he can't.
She had beaten me up and hit me with a truck, and I got in trouble for arguing with her, and that's why I got arrested.
He just got really angry, threw me around, threw a knife across the room, wouldn't let me out of the house.
I attacked myself with a knife.
I was trying to go out with my friends that night.
She had an abortion, and I just kind of thought my life, you know, was done. I couldn't stand it. You know, I lost everything I wanted.
Like she said, I need to stay away from guys like him.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Maya versus Magana, step forward, please.
20-year-old administrative assistant Mariel Meyer is suing her ex-boyfriend, 24-year-old construction worker Luis Magana, for unpaid credit card charges. Luis says Mariel gave him the card to use as he pleased.
Ms. Meyer, I assume this is your twin sister over here that you brought to court.
Yeah.
And I assume you brought her so that she could tell me what a lousy character Mr. Magana?
Magana.
Mr. Magana is. Because she used to date him.
Yeah.
When she got finished with him because she found out that he was a person of, according to her, poor character, you decided not to believe her and you started to date him.
Yep.
In addition to starting to date him, you got a credit card and decided it would be nice to give him another card. And he's supposed to pay whatever he spent on that card. And he took the card and spent some money, paid you some for the bill, and then you broke up and you claim he still owes you some money. And Mr. Magana says what?
Me and Mariel.
First, I want you to stand up on your own 2 feet.
All right. Me and Mariel dated for a while.
Listen to me. I'm not your therapist. And this is not Montel. So I don't care about you dating. I already said you were dating. Take your hands off your hips, sir. Only attitude here is mine.
I feel I don't owe her that money because, first of all, I never asked for her to give me a card. She gave me the card.
Okay, so that's the first thing. You never asked her for the card?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let's have it all at one time because I'm really interested in all of your defenses. I want to hear them all. First, you never asked her for the card, but she gave it to you anyway.
No, I did not.
Next.
She said that she got the card because she wanted to build up her credit and that I could make some charges on it.
So she gave it to you so that you could make charges on it so she could build up her credit?
Yeah, making payments back on the credit card and whatnot.
And that you were going to make payments on it?
Yeah. The agreement that we made was that I was going to give her some money. This was after the fact that we had broken up and she discontinued the card for me. It was never an agreement that I was going to pay whatever things were charged on there.
Can I say something?
No.
These things were charged.
He's doing miserably enough on his own. Why don't you just let him finish?
These are things that were charged when we'd go out partying, clubbing, and whatnot. Things that were charged so I wouldn't look like a cheapskate or whatever when we'd go out with friends and whatnot.
So you wouldn't look like a freeloader?
I guess you can say that.
Why didn't you pay cash?
Just saw it easier to pay with the card.
Well, she could have used her card. I mean, you each had a card, right?
That's correct.
Why did you use yours?
Like I said, when we were with our friends, being the guy, it looks better. The guy paying for things, so I just whip out the card that I had and put the charges
Well,
on
so
there.
what you're telling me, sir, is that you really were committing a fraud. You were saying to the other people that you were with, listen, I'm the guy, and I'm taking care of the meal or the club, but in actuality, what you were thinking was, I'm not going to pay for this. Is that what I'm understanding? I'm trying to understand you, Mr. Magana. Because the first reason that you gave me that you're not responsible is because you never asked for the card.
Correct.
Okay. And so let me respond to that first. If you didn't ask for it, and if you didn't want it, what could you have said, Mr. Magana?
I could have said no, but...
That's right. You could have said, no, I don't need the credit card. I don't want a credit card. I like to pay in...
cash.
Because if I don't have the...
money.
I don't want to spend...
the money.
Right. Look how smart he is. And we've never met. He can finish my sentences. Second thing that you said to me was when you would go out together because you didn't want to look like a freeloader, and it's because in your mind and in your friend's mind, it's the man's responsibility to pay for the entertainment, right?
Correct.
You whipped out the card instead of paying cash because you wanted to feel good.
That's right.
There's a price for that. You want to feel good, you got to do the right thing. You understand, Mr. Magana?
I understand.
There are no
now.
free rides here, sir. If you want to look like a freeloader, she'll take out her own card. Then you'll look like a deadbeat freeloader in front of your friends. You want to look like a big shot? Pay the tab. You got it. How much does he owe you?
$486.50.
That's what you owe her. Did she tell you that that's what you owed?
Yes, she did.
And what did you tell her?
Well, I didn't feel I owed the money.
Now you recognize that you do. Is that right, sir?
Well, I didn't feel I owed the money because...
No, I understand that that's the way you used to feel. I'm sort of hoping that after you and I have explored each other a little bit, sir, you've come to terms with the fact that you do owe her the money.
Not necessarily. When she gave me the card, I took that as her giving me a gift. And I don't feel gifts are...
Are you trying to tell me I've just wasted my breath on you for the last 10 minutes, Mr. Magana?
No.
So that you understand that you owe her the money.
All right, correct.
$486.50, judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 575 on the calendar, the matter of Connor Hardy versus Manley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
According to your complaint, Mr. Hardy, there came a time several months ago when your girlfriend discovered that her car had been hit. Nobody left any information as to the perpetrator of that hit and run, but you went on a sleuthing expedition in your neighborhood, and you came up with the defendant's car, and you found that there was damage to her car, same location, same color paint as happened to be on your car. When confronted, the defendant first acknowledged, then denied that someone else, I think you, were driving the car, but that wasn't their responsibility because although their car had been in an accident, you hit a
metal garbage can.
A metal garbage can, not her car. Later, which is the second part of your complaint, you claimed that while acting very innocently, the defendant ran over you while you were on your bicycle, causing you medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, et cetera, et cetera. So you want the damage to your car, you want all the aggravation medical bills as a result of being hit by the defendant with her car. When was your car hit?
December 23rd, I walked out of the house and noticed that my car had been sideswiped on the front swale.
You have a picture of the car?
Yes, ma'am.
How far do you live from each other?
I think we have about 5 or 6 homes between us.
How long have you lived there?
6 years.
And you?
5.
Never had any problem with each other before?
No.
Nasty. Mm-hmm. What kind of paint was on your car? Your paint and what other paint?
And a dark green paint.
Another dark green. Okay. What made you think, Mr. Hardy, that it was Miss Manley's car that caused the damage?
Well, on Christmas Eve, I took a walk down the street. We live on a dead-end street, so I knew if there was somebody on the street that damaged the car, there was a good possibility the car would be there. I walked down the street and saw the damaged vehicle in her carport. I knocked on her door.
Where was it damaged?
It is damaged on the front passenger side. We have the pictures.
It's on the side of the car.
Jill's car is parked on the swale with traffic. Her car was sideswiped on the driver's side, which means if a car was going down the street, most likely it would be on the passenger side damage.
What kind of car do you have?
A Lexus. I have my photos as well.
Can I see your car?
Yeah. I only have damage, a dent, 2 dents in the front side of my car. She has a swipe, and my car hit a metal dumpster at McDonald's.
Well, you don't know that. You weren't driving the car.
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
They told you that that's what happened?
Yes, ma'am, that's true.
Who was driving the car?
My uncle Patrick.
You were with Patrick?
Yes.
Had you borrowed the car?
Yes.
When?
My mom had given it to us a couple days before Christmas to go to McDonald's because she was cooking.
So on the same date that Miss Connor's car was damaged?
I'm not positive.
Well, that's what it is. A couple of days before Christmas. Christmas comes the same time every year.
Thursday night.
That's December 25th.
It was at nighttime I gave him the car.
She said a couple of days before Christmas, which would have been the time that this happened. Whitney, when you came home, did you immediately tell your mother that you had been in an accident?
No, I didn't.
Did your uncle?
No, he didn't.
Why not?
Because we were afraid that we wouldn't get our Christmas gift since it was right before Christmas. And we didn't want to upset her.
So how did you hide the car?
Well, at the time, my mom was driving my grandmother's new Dodge Ram truck. So the car was parked in the carport, and she doesn't usually have no reason to go on the side of the house, and she hasn't seen it.
So you concealed the fact that you were in this accident. Who owned the dumpster?
McDonald's.
Did you tell them that you hit their dumpster?
No, ma'am.
And how did that happen that the car hit the dumpster?
Well, as we were driving to the drive-in, we were arguing over the radio station, and he was like slapping my hand away from the radio station so I wouldn't change it. And I grabbed the wheel, and the car kind of swerved and hit the dumpster.
Now, let's leave that for a moment. Mm-hmm. When you approached Miss Manley, what did she say?
I knocked at the front door. I asked her, had her car been in an accident with my car on the street? She told me she had not driven the car in 4 days. I knew nothing about it. I asked her to come outside and look at her car.
Was she surprised?
Oh, she was very surprised to see the damage on her car. Called Whitney to the carport door. She asked Whitney if Whitney had driven the vehicle. Whitney said yes, she had driven the vehicle.
That's not true. That's not true.
Don't speak.
Sorry.
And that she had sideswiped my girlfriend's car on her way to McDonald's.
Listen to me.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's not true. Okay.
What do you think? I don't hear? I heard what you said, and I told you to be quiet. You're going to have an opportunity to respond to him. Go ahead.
Whitney said yes, she had driven the car. She had hit Jill's car on the way to McDonald's. Stated that she was putting on her seatbelt at the time of the accident and had just swerved over and rubbed the car and was afraid to tell anybody.
Whitney doesn't even know how to drive.
Listen to me. It's my job to figure out who's telling the truth and who's not. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do?
I told her that I would like to call the police. Patrice said this is not a good idea to call the police because Whitney is not covered by her auto insurance, and she would be more than happy to just pay for the damages if I brought her an estimate. She wrote down her name and phone number.
Let me see it, please.
I left that on the door.
Listen to me. When it's your turn, you will speak.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is her handwriting.
Yes, ma'am.
And you wrote down your name and phone number.
Yes.
And put it on his door.
Yes.
For what reason?
Because I had to talk with her on what happened because she never said anything when he came. He asked her, I asked did she know about an accident to her car. Whitney said no. Okay, after that point, she didn't say anything else. So therefore, while he was there, if I was going to write down all that information, I would have given him my insurance and other papers.
No, that's not true, madam.
Why?
You usually don't get an opportunity for me to answer your questions, but I'm going to do it for you because you seem to be speaking out of turn. And maybe if I explain to you why you would give him your phone number instead of your insurance information, you will understand. Because what he says is that your daughter said, yes, she drove the car, she had an accident, which sounds right to me, that you said, don't call the police because my insurance isn't going to cover her because she's only 15. Give me an estimate and we'll pay for it. And you gave him your phone number. That's a logical explanation. Now, say nothing, because I've answered you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As I went to the car, he started calling me a black, all these words. He kicked the car door, and he said I messed with the wrong cracker.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Greg Hardy and his girlfriend Jill Connor say their neighbor, 15-year-old Whitney Manley, sideswiped their car. The couple also claims Whitney's mother, Patrice Manley, ran over Greg's bicycle.
You gave her the estimate, and what happened?
She said that the estimate is too much and that she wasn't going to pay for it, and she told me do what I have to do, and that was it.
Did she come to your house with an estimate?
Yes, she came to my house.
Right.
She said she knew it was me. Sorry.
That's all. There would have been no reason for you to go to her house with an estimate unless she had said to you, bring me an estimate. Right?
Right.
If her daughter had denied hitting your car and having an uncle hit some trash bin on the same day, there would have been no reason for you, unless you're psychotic, to bring her an estimate, right?
Correct.
Now let us hop over to what you did later on the bike.
Sunday, we believe January 9th, she brought the estimate down to Patrice. Patrice said she was not going to pay for it. It was too much money. Do what we have to do. We called the police officers back down because we have a hit-and-run report from the first incident.
I'd like to see it, please.
The officer went down there, spoke with Patrice, stated that since she agreed to pay for it...
Don't tell me what the officer said.
That's true.
Okay.
No, that's hearsay. I just want to see whether the report was made on the 23rd.
When they went to McDonald's, it was on the 23rd that evening.
Let me explain something to you, madam. I don't believe your daughter. I don't believe your daughter didn't drive the car and hit Jill's car. I believe that that's exactly what she did. And I believe that she acknowledged that the day that he... listen to me. I believe she acknowledged that to him.
She did.
And I believe the story that she's telling me now with hitting a dumpster in a McDonald's parking lot is a whole lot of who shot John. Because coincidences sometimes happen in this world. But if there's a more logical basis for what happened, I usually go with the logic rather than the serendipity. Let's move on to the bicycle, sir.
We needed to have our license tag number because we reported to Jill's insurance agency. They needed to have the license tag or some information of Patrice to do a follow-up case. Patrice's car disappears for a length of time. I go for a bike ride on January 20th, the morning. I see Patrice parking in
across the street.
A field adjacent to her house.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear an echo.
Okay.
She's parked in a field, catty corner to her home. I notice that she is running across the street to her door. I pedaled down the road. I stopped in the street. I said, Patrice, are you not paying for Jill's damages to the car? And Patrice stated, no, she will not pay for the damages.
Are those the words that were used?
At that time, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Then I went over to her car, which was in the field, called Jill at work.
Who owns the field?
It's Broward County public property.
Okay.
Went to the car, called Jill and gave her the auto tag. Patrice was coming back to her car. Then we had a little bit of an altercation.
Was the damage still on the car?
Yes.
Tell me about the altercation.
Basically, we argued about who's going to pay for the car and why she's denying.
What did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
I stated that I can't believe she's not paying for the car. To do such damage while living in the same neighborhood is ridiculous to me. Why would a neighbor act like this? And I told her she was a liar, and she got into her car.
What did she say to you?
I don't remember her exact words, Your Honor.
Did you call her any names?
I called her a liar.
Other than that?
I called her a B word.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
Yes.
You know, when I ask you what the altercation was, and if what you're going to give me is oatmeal, then I'm not going to believe you.
Well,
do you understand?
Right.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Greg Hardy and his girlfriend say their neighbor, 15-year-old Whitney Manley, sideswiped their car. Greg says, on a separate occasion, Whitney's mother, Patrice Manley, ran over his bicycle.
Did she say anything to you?
She made comments back to me. I don't really know what she said, to be honest.
Do you remember what you said to him?
When I came out from the house, he was on the back of the car on the phone. He had his dog with him, a bulldog this big, while he was on the bike. As he was talking, I did not say anything. As I went to the car, he started calling me a black, all these words. And I didn't say anything to him because I didn't get upset. I just didn't say nothing. I got in the car and I rolled down the window. He came next on the driver's side. He kicked the car door and he said, I messed with the wrong cracker. I then asked him, what is a cracker? He said, I'm going to get you. He proceeded with the dog, he hopped on the bike, and he proceeded to the street. As I'm driving off, he's in front of my car, would not let me pass. I went around him to not hit him or anything. I went around him. As I went around him, I don't know if the dog stopped or the bike stopped, whatever stopped, but his wheel was under my car because he was still trying to get in front of my car. And then as soon as that happened, when my back tire hit his back tire, he fell off the bike, and I stopped right there. I didn't move, left it as is. He said, I got you now. I got you now. So I didn't say anything. I said, no, I got a good Negro lawyer, is what I told him. So he then picked up the phone and called the police. I, as well, called the police. 2 police came out to the scene, as well as the paramedics.
Can I see the police report on that, please?
Yes. On the last page is...
Shh. Were you taken by ambulance from the scene?
Yes, I was.
At his request.
Shh. What difference does that make?
Because there was nothing wrong with them.
Well, how do I know that? I'd like to see the medical report. Is this your injury on your ankle?
Yes.
Looks like it got caught in the spokes of the bicycle.
The front crankshaft, yes.
So now I have a few questions for you, Mr. Hardy. Why did you pull out your bicycle at the same time that she was pulling out her car?
I was on the driver's side door when we were arguing.
Yes.
And then she had not yet started the car, or maybe she had just started the car. I have to go up the street. It's a dead-end road. I have to go forward. We're both have to go forward.
Well, I understand that, but
I
you
go
both...
first.
Listen to me.
Okay.
My friend, you don't have to go forward at the same time. You've just had an altercation with a woman who was in a car that weighs 3,000 pounds. It would seem to me prudent to hang back in the field that is the property of Broward County, play with your dog for 15 minutes while Miss Manley leaves. You've already gotten the information that you wanted, so there's no need to have any further interaction with her. Is that a fair statement?
That's correct.
Unless you wanted to bug her, which you might be able to do if you drove in front of her car with your dog at your side, so she would be going at 5 miles an hour instead of 25 miles an hour until she got to a place where she could turn off. Is that a possibility?
It is a possibility.
Right. So you could have avoided this whole part of the conflict if you just stayed back and played with, what's your dog's name?
Indy.
Indy, in the field for a couple of minutes. Why did you do that?
Well, I didn't expect her to run me over in a car, and I was going to the bike path, which is just right past the bushes, so I can get onto the next street. I was already in motion first. I did not expect her to hit me with the car. She came up from behind me after I was already riding down the street.
Well, Mr. Hardy, I don't buy it.
Okay.
The alternative was for her to stop her car and just wait for you to get to where you wanted to go. You could have done that, right? Said, listen, this guy is behaving like a big baby, and he's just trying to get my goat, and I'm going to turn off my car and wait 5 minutes for him to disappear. But you both got a little bit hot under the collar, and your bicycle went over, and the dog, according to you, pulled you over, and that's how you got hurt.
No, the dog pulled me to the right. The police officer stated that my bicycle was left in the middle of the street, and that is why they didn't deem her a ticket on the accident.
They sure didn't, according to the police officers. According to the police officer's report, police officer says, based upon the position...
2 police officers. It was 2.
What word didn't you understand? Don't talk. It's not a tea party. Do I give you an opportunity to tell your side of the story?
But I didn't finish.
You may not have finished, madam, but I'm getting the information that I need. And so far, with regard to this aspect, you don't seem to be losing. With regard to whether your daughter hit Jill's car, you lost there. Because your daughter drove your car, didn't tell you, and hit her car. And if you believe her that she didn't do it, that's your problem. So you're going to pay for the damage to Jill's car. But Mr. Hardy's going to pay for his own stupidity and not waiting in the field with his dog until you took off, because I think what he was trying to do was just annoy you. You understand that, Mr. Hardy?
Well, I don't understand.
You understand. I'm glad you understand. You may not agree with me. That's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not here. It's not American Idol. It's not a popularity contest. I listen to what, to me, is common sense. It is not common sense that your girlfriend's car was damaged on the same date as she had control of her mother's car. Her mother's car came up dented with a baloney story about hitting something in McDonald's that they didn't report to McDonald's. That doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense that you just happened to get in motion first and felt as if you had to leave the property first while this 3,000-pound car is following you. That doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. Let me see an estimate for your car, Jill. Is your car fixed yet? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,173. That's all. Step out.
Step out. Bent versus Richardson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Bent, the defendant is your brother?
Yes.
And your wife?
Yes.
This is your husband?
Yes.
According to what I've read, you were living in a house that you owned.
Yes.
And you were moving to a new house.
Yes.
You and your brother made an arrangement where they signed a lease to move into your old house.
Right.
With his family. You were expecting your first child.
Yeah.
When was that lease signed?
Lease was signed on the 15th of June.
And when were you supposed to move in?
The 16th of June.
And what was the rent?
Rent is $550.
Can I see the lease, please? So you really rented this home with an option to buy it?
Right.
Did you, in fact, deliver the $750 security deposit?
Yes, I did.
Is that correct?
Yes, you did.
And you moved in when, sir?
I did move in on the 17th of June.
Is that correct?
No, he actually did move in the 16th that afternoon.
Doesn't make any difference, but the problem arose that the home that you were going to move into somehow fell through.
Yes, it did.
So that you said, fine, I signed this lease, I took you $750, but we're staying with you.
Well, that's not the way it went, but...
No, that's what happened.
Yes.
You didn't move out.
Right.
They moved in. You were supposed to move out by the end of the month.
Yes.
And you never moved out.
Right.
And you want them to pay rent.
Yes.
They did, in fact, pay rent in addition to the $750. For how many months?
He paid for July, and he paid the first half of August.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. You have to move out.
We own the house.
Not for the next year, you don't. You leased your apartment to these people for 1 year.
Yes, Your Honor.
In consideration of that, they moved in, paid you a security deposit.
Yes.
I assume that you wanted this lease in writing?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
You insisted on that?
Yes.
So you wanted everything strictly legal?
Yes, we did.
You gotta move out.
They haven't followed any of the lease
You
law.
gotta move out. I know you think that that's funny.
No, I think
you
it's
want
crazy.
him to pay rent.
He hasn't paid. He stopped paying.
Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
He's absolutely right. The fact that he paid rent for the entire month of July and gave you any money at all for September is terrific. He's a wonderful sport.
Not.
You got to move out and find a place to live. Unless you want to pay him out and say, listen, we have a real problem here. I'll give you $2,500 to go move someplace because we have no place to go now. But other than that, you have to move.
Your Honor, he has violated that lease over and over again.
No.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
want to stay in your house.
Well, no, we didn't. The house that we actually tried to purchase another house.
Yeah.
Not just the one that was the original house that we were going to purchase. And that house, because of what they had done to us, that whole thing also fell through.
What do you mean what they did to you?
correct.
What did they do to you?
First of all, his cat destroyed my home.
Oh, he didn't destroy your home. I read that.
Yes,
I read
he
that
did.
nonsense.
He did. I have
Go ahead.
pictures. He
Go
destroyed
ahead.
the home.
Go ahead.
He called the police on me and tried to have me arrested for assault and told the police that he was going to have my car protective services, to have my children taken from me, and he threatened my children.
That's not
Just
correct.
a second. What does that have to do with buying a second house?
Because what I'm saying is all the different things that were going on, they weren't paying the rent that they agreed to pay.
You
agreed.
were living in their home, madam. I
It's
never
our
heard of such a
home.
thing.
It's our home. It's in
no,
our
it's
name.
not your home. That's what you don't seem to understand. It's not your home until June 16th, 2001. Then it becomes your home again.
It also states in the lease that if he violated anything that we agreed to in writing, that lease would become null
You
and void.
breached the lease the moment you stayed 1 hour beyond June 30th. You breached the lease. I never heard of such a thing. I mean, I've lived in lots of apartments. Leased apartments, right? Have you leased a lot of apartments?
A lot of apartments.
A lot of apartments? Did you ever move into an apartment with the previous tenant?
No.
It's not an apartment, it's a house, but he
It doesn't make
broke
any
it, too.
difference whether it's an apartment, a house, a co-op, a condominium. You own it,
Yes.
but you have given up, pursuant to this lease, your right to occupy it for 1 year.
But, Your Honor, the house is not paid for, and the house is also in pre-foreclosure because they have not paid. So
They're not
they're gonna
supposed to
take
pay
the
rent.
house.
You pay rent.
He's
No,
not.
no, no, listen to
keeping
me.
his rent.
You pay the rent.
And we have.
Good. Then why should your house be in foreclosure?
Because he wasn't paying on the schedule that we agreed to. He didn't pay because he moved into our home without a job. When he moved into our home, he
That's
didn't even
not
have
correct.
a job.
That is not
yes,
correct.
it is. I
Hey,
talked
Miss
to his
Bent.
boss.
No, it is
Miss
not.
Bent.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's get it together. You breached the lease because of circumstances perhaps beyond your control,
Yes,
because
it
you
was.
lost your house. But you can't expect him to pay rent on an entire house, which is what you're looking for, when he doesn't have the use of an entire house.
But, Your Honor, he does have use of the entire house. The thing is,
No,
him and
I
his
don't.
wife, look, yes, you do. Him and his wife and his baby, we've inconvenienced ourselves. We took our children and put them all in one room, him and his wife, and he told us
That's
they didn't
his
have
room.
anything.
No, no, no.
Right,
That's
yes,
his
and that's
room.
what I'm saying. It is his room, but he also has use of the whole house. He can cook and clean and do whatever, but, excuse me, he doesn't clean, so I take that back. He cooks, he has
Okay.
use of everything else. They haven't, and it also states in there that he's supposed to mow the lawn and all of that. My husband does that once a week. He doesn't do anything.
You live there.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So
you're
does he.
not, listen to me. You're not getting it. You're not supposed to be there. You have to move out, if that's what they want. He paid rent, full rent, according to you, for the entire month of July. He also gave you $750 for security deposit.
Which is non-refundable, and he signed that. It does state.
Oh,
that on
he's
the
gonna
first
get it
page.
back.
It states that on the
Oh,
first
no, he's
page.
going to get it back.
Well, what about the damage that he's done? The
I'm
house
not
cannot-
interested.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The cat was urinating on things, tearing up the furniture, tore up the wall, tore up the door. Yes, he did.
And later today,
Well, I paid half of it.
Why should she be responsible for $1?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janine and Anthony Bent are suing Janine's brother, Gerard Richardson and his wife Maria for not paying rent.
I believe that this cat baloney is just a lot of baloney.
No, ma'am, it's not. We have pictures of the house that has been done, and they knew this. We asked them when they first moved in, the lease clearly states no pets. They said, we have a cat. We said, you can bring the cat if you're going to clean up after the cat. They never did. We got into it because the cat litter hadn't been changed. The cat was urinating on things, tearing up the furniture, tore up the wall, tore up the door. Yes, he did. I have pictures of that. He tore that up.
Show me.
I sure will.
Show me. I just want to see the cat tearing up the door and tearing up the walls. And then we'll proceed from there. I don't see any walls here. I see scratches on the door. Is that what you're showing me?
Yes, and it was not like that before.
Baloney.
And this
Next.
too, which
And he
can't
broke
be
a picture.
replaced.
What else?
Also, he called the police on me and tried to have me arrested
Because
for assault. I didn't do anything. What happened was I talked to him. I told him, I said, you know, the cat has destroyed this. This belonged to Grandma. You know, she's gone now. We can't replace this.
So what?
It means something to me. And his wife was like, well, if it was important to you, you should have put it up. No, your cat destroyed
your lawsuit is dismissed for the following reason. You signed a lease. You became a landlord. You cannot live in property that you signed your rights away to for 1 year because you have a problem. You could have done several things. You could have taken your family and moved to another apartment. You could have said to your brother, I'm sorry it didn't work out. I will buy you out of your lease. You can say to him, I'll give you your moving expenses. You did none of those things. You just decided that you were all going to live together.
No, ma'am. We wanted to leave. We wanted to leave.
And you should have left.
Not. We could not. We tried to purchase another home. We just didn't have the money at that point.
She ain't getting it. She ain't getting it. Your lawsuit is dismissed. Now let's get to your counterclaim. You have a counterclaim. You want your security deposit back. Done. $750. You want your rent back, right?
Yes.
Done. Now, the reason I'm giving you this money on your counterclaim is she ain't moving. You understand that?
I understand.
So you should have a little bit of money, which is what she should have done at the beginning, because she's not moving. She doesn't get it. And I can explain to her 4 times. She still doesn't get it. She said, but it's my house. And I want to move, but I can't move. Lease means you move. You paid $750 deposit. You paid $550 in July?
Yes. And then it was $200 for the first half of August that I paid her.
Fine. So, on your claim for past rent, that claim is dismissed. On your counterclaim, I'm awarding you $1,500 for the breach of the lease. That's all.
All right, is excused. You may step out.
He's destroyed my home. He's put my whole house in chaos, and he gets awarded a judgment. His stuff is going out. When we get back, it's out.
She's got to be out of her mind to think that I'm going to pay for her family to live in a house that she was supposed to sell to me.
And now the next case.
All parties on Dennis versus Franklin. Step forward, please.
52-year-old company owner Tanya Dennis is suing her son's friend, 24-year-old salesman Michael Franklin, for expenses involving a botched car lease.
Miss Dennis.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant, according to you, was a friend of your son's, who, even at one point, you were allowed to live in your home. Is that right?
That's correct. He still lives there, Your Honor.
Still lives there?
Yes, he does.
We'll get to why in a minute. According to your complaint, there came a time when he wanted to buy a car. He asked you to co-sign. You must not have taken your smart pills that day. You agreed. Through some fluke in the paperwork, the car dealership did some sort of a bait and switch with the car papers. You turned out to be the primary.
That's correct.
On this car. The car was in your name.
That's correct.
But he drove the car.
That's correct.
There was some lawsuit involving this bait and switch with the paperwork. You won that lawsuit, and the car was eventually taken out of your name. But before the car was taken out of your name, the defendant racked up a whole bunch of parking tickets, let the insurance lapse on the car, which you paid for, had an accident with the car, and also you were notified that they were going to repossess the car that was in your name, so you made up the car payments so that they wouldn't repossess the car. So far correct?
So far correct, Your Honor.
Best as I can put together, the defense to this case is, he says you were both losers.
Definitely. Basically, she went to court because of their mishaps and their bad contracts. It set us far behind on payments, as well as...
So set who far behind?
Me and Melissa originally
Who's
were
Melissa?
my ex-girlfriend, who's no longer in my life.
Who has the car?
I won the case and had them take the car back because I charged them with fraud. They did take the car back, so that's gone.
Oh, so the car is gone.
Yes.
Why is he still living in your house?
Because he lost his job. That's how he got behind in his car payments. And I figured that when he got a job, if he didn't have to pay rent, he could pay me back the debt.
Right, but then I got put out before I can even settle into my job.
Put out where?
I was living there, and while I was busy working on a project, I was told that I needed to come and pick up my stuff because I hadn't been home in maybe a week and a half. When I went to go and pick up my mail actually was a suit paper.
That she filed?
Right.
When
and
was
she
that?
told me that she was just
And when
doing
was
this
that?
to protect herself. This was a matter of 3 months ago.
So when did you move back into the house?
Maybe like 4 days after I went to her, and I told her, I said that I always try to assume responsibility. Before I took care of some tickets, I gave her money. She went and paid some of those tickets as well.
But you got a lot more tickets.
Yeah, there was a lot of tickets.
Well, why'd you get so many tickets, Mr. Franklin?
San Francisco gives a high rate of tickets, and I had tickets that I didn't even know about accumulating and piling up.
What do you mean you didn't know about them?
Well, sometimes you get tickets, and when you get there, they're not on your car.
Yeah, everybody tells me that, but not all those tickets, Mr. Franklin. Not $1,500 worth of tickets. They didn't all get lost.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm absolutely dying of curiosity. Why is he living in your house again?
That's a good question.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tanya Dennis says her son's friend, Michael Franklin, owes her for a botched car lease.
Who's supposed to pay that?
I was.
But you didn't.
Well, I paid half of it.
Why should she be responsible for $1?
Well, she wasn't supposed to be responsible.
But she has to be. Her name is on the car.
Yeah, but she wasn't supposed to be primary. She was supposed to be co-signer, which meant that we were supposed to receive everything.
Okay, so you're both losers because it's all the car dealership's fault. All right, now let's get to the insurance. You let your insurance lapse. Why?
It fell behind a month because I lost my job.
So you were driving the car without insurance, knowing that she was the primary.
What it was is Miss Melissa, right? She was the original person, and it was Melissa.
Just a second. She wasn't the friend of Melissa. She was your friend.
Right.
If Melissa came to her and said to her, would you co-sign a loan for me, do you think she would have done it?
No.
She came and co-signed the loan because of you.
Right.
Yeah. Now tell me about the accident.
Well, technically it wasn't my fault, but it ended up...
let's start out with the not technically, sir. Was Melissa driving the car at the time of the accident?
No, she wasn't. We were no
Were
longer
you
together.
driving the car at the time of the accident? And who paid to have the car fixed?
Miss Dennis.
Why do you think she should do that?
She did that because she was in the primary position in all levels, and she had to protect her butt. But I was in a position where I was going to be able to pay it, but I got kicked out. And because I got kicked out, I had to fend for myself. I have a little girl that just was born, and I had to survive. I couldn't be just sleeping on the street.
So why didn't you put the car in a garage? Or you could have sold the car.
I needed a job, and in order to work, I needed transportation.
Why is that her problem?
It's not her problem.
But you made it her problem.
But it wasn't on purpose.
Oh, all right. I'm going to take care of this case, but I'm absolutely dying of curiosity. Why is he living in your house again?
That's a good question. I gave him 30 days notice, which is 2 days from now, and I know he still doesn't have any money. And I'm a Christian. I just can't do it.
Where's your son?
My son is at home also. They stay in my back rec room.
What does your son do for a living?
He goes to college, and he's a music engineer.
What kind of work does the defendant do?
He, right now, is signing up people for long distance, and he's a rap star, a rap artist.
Does he work with your son?
Yes, he does.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What prompted you to file the small claims suit when you filed it? How long ago was that?
I filed it, I believe, about 3 months ago, and I went to court, and as the judge tallied up everything, the tickets kept coming in. At first, I sued for $3,500, and he said, I can give you the $3,500, or I can set it aside without prejudice, and you can come back, because by that time, it was up to $4,500. I refiled, and with the increased amount.
When did you refile?
I refiled, I guess, about 2-3 weeks ago.
Let me see the date of your filing.
I didn't bring the papers from that court. The only papers I have, court-wise, is my litigation.
Let me see it.
I charged them with fraud and breach of contract.
How much did you collect?
I settled out of court. They took the car back, and I had to make the car payment for that month.
But no other damages?
No, none.
Judge Judy?
Yes?
I really don't feel that I should owe her this money because she picked it up.
No, I don't think you should owe her this money either. I don't think you owe her any money. I think that you sued the wrong defendant, madam. I don't see his name on the papers. I see Melissa's, Miss Dennis. The reason you're suing him is because he's in closer proximity to you?
That's not true.
I don't see his name anywhere here.
They wouldn't put him on the contract because his credit was so bad. So Melissa was supposed to buy the car for him, and they were going to make me the co-signer.
That's what you understood?
Right.
Even when you were there?
Right. No, well, no.
No, even when you were there?
When I went there, I thought that Michael was going to be
Get out
the
of
primary.
here, Miss Dennis. You're trying to pull the wool over
No,
my
I'm
eyes, madam. And I guarantee you're not going to do it. Your case
Judge
against
Judy,
this
may I
defendant
say-
is dismissed. You want to file against Melissa? You go and do it. That's all.
Now then, the matter of Blaylock versus Jackson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Blaylock, according to your complaint, you were driving your car. The defendant was a pedestrian. Did you know him from before this incident?
No, I didn't.
Had you ever seen him before?
No, I didn't.
You were driving your car. According to you, the defendant came up to your car, broke your car window, causing glass to go in your face. You want him to pay for the car window as well as for a rental car that you had to rent while your car was being fixed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and where did this happen?
On the north side of town in Jacksonville, Florida.
Tell me what kind of roadway that is. Is it a two-lane roadway? Is it 4 lanes?
It's a 2-lane road in a residential area.
1 lane in each direction?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, basically I was going down the road, and it's like a 30-mile-per-hour road. So I was driving, and I saw him approaching, coming across the street. And he really wasn't paying attention, so I kind of slowed down. I tooted my horn, and I pointed, to the direction of the sidewalk, like requesting him to go to the sidewalk. So he said something, but I really couldn't hear him because my windows was up. So he kept walking or whatever in front of my car.
What do you mean he kept walking in front of your car? Was he going from one side of the street to the other?
He was steadily walking ahead. He began to walk ahead.
You mean in the street where the cars go?
Yes.
So was he walking in the same direction you were?
Yes.
So he's walking in the same direction you were, but he's walking in the street where the single lane of cars going in one direction had to go, and he was walking. Okay, how much in the street was he?
I guess 3 to 4 feet in the street.
Okay, and he was walking in the same direction as your car?
Yes.
You tooted the horn. Did he turn around when you tooted the horn?
Yes, he did. So I rolled my window down, and I was like, could you get out of the street? So he began to curse, and I'm a pedestrian, I don't have to move, or whatever other words he was saying. But I was saying, well, you still need to get out of the street. So it was a verbal, confrontation. So then a school bus came. So the school bus, because I was gonna go around him instead of driving my car on the side, on the sidewalk and the grass, the school bus came. So the school bus stopped. The kids got off of the bus, so that he was still in the middle of the street doing this process. So then kids began to walk through. He was still acting irate and cursing. So then that made where I couldn't even go around because the kids came to a complete stop watching him. So I was, after the kids that were walking, towards the apartment complex, after that area was clear, I was gonna go in the grass and go around him. So I rolled my window back up, I rolled to the side, he began to approach my car. So I couldn't just speed, in that area because of the kids that were walking, and he was up to my car cursing. But as he is cursing, I'm not even really looking at him. I'm trying to hurry up and get away from him, but I didn't want to hit a child. All of a sudden, he bust my window with his hand.
Which window did he bust?
He bust my driver's side window. So I grabbed my cellular phone. I said, now I'm calling the police. So he was cursing. So after, everything was clear, I just went ahead and went, blowed my horn, move, and I went because I didn't want him to further put his hands on me. As I turned the corner, I was calling the police, but the police was already coming. I flagged him down and told him that a person I didn't know had just struck my window, broke it, and struck me. When the police followed me back to the complex, Mr. Jackson was nowhere in sight. We found Mr. Jackson in the back of the apartment complex around other people, and he was just stating that I ran over his feet. His arm was bleeding. He said I ran over his arm. So the officer was ready to take me to jail. It was my word against his. The rescue came, and the rescue began to pick glass out of his arm. So then the officer was like, well, how did, she run over your feet? I see no tire marks. How did she run over your arm? I see no, where's the glass coming from? So he just went on, and the officer told me to be quiet and had me step to the side. So I really couldn't say whatever else he was saying.
Let me see the police report. You were not cited, Miss Baylock, is that right?
Both of us were giving, in my city, we get yellow cards to go downtown to the state attorney's office. At the beginning, I was given the card because I was the suspect, but after the rescue came and was picking glass out of his arm, he became a suspect also.
But nothing happened with either one of those cards?
Yes.
What happened with it?
Okay. I went to the state attorney's office to file my complaint because I didn't know him. And, I just wanted to feel safe. I didn't know this man. I don't know, what type of person he was. Okay, we had mediation. He made threats during the mediation, stated to me that he was going to sue me, made other threats stating that when he got through with me, I would be nobody, I would be nothing. So what
happened with that mediation?
Okay, they closed the mediation because he was very irate, and the person that was doing the mediation was like an older type senior citizen type person, and he was hollering too much, and the man couldn't speak over him, so we were supposed to be back down there. I received letters in the mail that he was suing me from my insurance company, and then I had several...
Do you have a lawsuit pending against her?
I have the paperwork
Just
right
a second.
here.
I'd like to see that too. So you don't have a lawsuit pending against her?
No, ma'am.
Did you file a claim with her insurance?
I had not filed a formal claim with her insurance company. What I had done was I had consulted a lawyer who put in a request to her insurance company about this situation at hand, and that's as far as it went.
Okay, so your lawyer sent a letter, and the insurance company sent a letter that they were not accepting your claim because they say based on information that they have that you intentionally put your arm through a window. Now I'm going to look through the police report. Okay. Let me hear your version of these events, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am. On the morning, well, on the day that this thing occurred, I was crossing the street. I just stopped some kids from fighting. This was a school zone, total school zone. There's a big school there. I crossed the street. I'm on the sidewalk walking down the street. I'm going to visit my son at his mom's house. All of a sudden, she pulls up on the side of me, blowing her horn erratically and waving her hands. Then she rolls her window down and begins yelling and screaming and cursing at me. I asked her one time, I said, "Who are you and what do you want?"
She's in her car on the street.
Yes, ma'am. And I tell her, I said, "What is it that you want from me? I don't even know you." At that time, she says, "Don't worry about it." And she speeds off. I kept walking down towards the entrance of these apartments. I didn't think anything else about her at this moment. I'm walking with a bunch of kids around me. Like I say, it's in the school zone, and the kids are just out of school. Right at the moment when I go inside of the gate of these apartments, all of a sudden I hear a car pull up behind me, and the tires are like dragging. At that time, she rolls her window down and yells at me, "Was there something that you want to say to me? So-and-so and so-and-so," just cursing me all out. I looked at her again, and I go, "I can't believe that you came back. What is it that you want? Who are you? I don't even know you." She said, "I should have ran you over before, and I will run you over now." So she backs her car up a little bit, cuts the wheels, and runs over me. At that time, when she hit me, the side of her car spent me around, and my arm went through her window, causing the window to break. I left there and went running through the apartments to go and try to get some help.
So according to your statement, Mr. Jackson, this person that you didn't know at all
Yes, ma'am.
was driving down the street.
Yes, ma'am, pretty much.
And for no earthly reason whatsoever, stopped her car at some point
ma'am.
to verbally berate you and then assault you. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, she doesn't appear to me to be psychotic. She was coming from work, which I assume means that she wasn't drunk. Now, I want you to hold out your arm, sir, and show me where the glass was on your arm.
Where the glass was?
Yes.
It was around my
elbow.
Right.
Okay. And so you're telling me that she ran over your feet
She ran over my feet, yes ma'am.
Which the police say they saw no indication of tire marks or anything else on your shoes. I just don't understand how, if she ran over your feet, your elbow was injured.
It wasn't like that at all, Your Honor.
How was it, Mr. Jackson?
She pulled up behind me in the driveway of this apartment.
Yes.
She backed up, and when she ran over me, the side of her car mirror hit me and spent me around. Then she backed up across the street and tried to run over me again.
It's getting better. Do you have a hospital report, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
I've also had pictures.
I'm looking through these papers because you say that you were hit on the side by her mirror. There is no indication in the hospital chart of any bruise on your side, sir.
They didn't have any bruises on my feet either, Your Honor.
That's right,
But
they
I
didn't.
still got ran over by them.
I'm telling you, they have absolutely no bruises on your feet, none whatsoever.
They gave me x-rays at the hospital stating that none of my bones were broken, but my feet were swollen.
Oh, let's see if they say that. Did they say that anywhere in the hospital records?
They got it documented
Let's
on
see. The laceration was in your elbow.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see anything about swollen feet. Didn't say you could...
It should be in there.
Well, I don't see it, sir. Now, the only other thing I have to ask you, Ms. Baylock, is, am I correct that at one point you actually drove your car up on the sidewalk?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you do that?
Because I was scared of him.
It's dangerous, Miss Baylock, to go
It was
up
dangerous for me to be, you know, in that situation with him.
I understand that. You shouldn't have gone up on the
I
ground.
feel as though I was wrong, but I had no choice.
You
After
may-
he struck me once, I felt as though he was going to yank me out of the car or something. He was very
No.
irate.
He hadn't struck you yet when you went up on the grass. Hadn't struck you yet, according to you. You went up on the grass, and then he approached your car.
But, Your Honor, the reason why I tried to proceed to get away from him is because he was cursing and approaching my car.
Right.
I tried to
she's
get away
not
from him
telling
before
you.
he approached my car.
She's not telling you what happened.
Cost of replacing your window is $179.75. Is that right?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Mr.
she
Jackson,
left the scene.
Mr. Jackson, she did not leave the scene. She
She
came
left
back.
the scene.
Shh. She flagged down the police and brought them back. If somebody just runs over somebody's legs, they don't do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount
Your
of
Honor, I'm also suing him
$179.70.
for my rental car.
And I'm denying that, madam. $179.75. You can replace a window in a half a day. You shouldn't have been up on the sidewalk. That's
No,
all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
My arm, I got 36 stitches, I got 10 puncture wounds, and I'm paralyzed from my wrist down to my elbow.
He tried to sue me for over $10,000. Basically, I don't have any money for him, but he caused those injuries on his own, and that's good for him.
I want to see my medical bills paid, and I don't want to see her no more.
And now the next case.
All parties on Leyva versus Rodriguez. Step forward, please.
28-year-old bank teller supervisor Sheindlin Leyva is suing 18-year-old Gabriel Rodriguez for damage to her car caused by a water balloon.
So you're driving around in your brand new van.
Right.
How many days old is your van?
It's about a day and a half old. I got it on Thursday night, and this happened Saturday afternoon.
Brand new?
Right.
And there are a bunch of idiot teenagers that, for sport, are throwing things at cars.
Right. We were driving down the road, and we heard two loud dents, and so I stopped the car and got out of the van to see what happened. My little sister said they ran this way. They were on, there was like a low block wall and an office complex. They started running into the office complex.
How many of them?
3.
And they were apprehended.
Right. We chased them. They ran into their house. I was on the phone with the police the whole time. We waited, and the police got there. They knocked on the door. Gabe had tried to, he jumped the back fence and started to walk off, but the police went and got him.
No. You had damage to this brand new van.
Right. There was 2 dents in the side door.
And how much was the damage?
It was about $540.
Now, 2 of the young men, one paid their third in full.
Right. And the other one paid half.
and is paying slowly.
Right.
But Mr. Rodriguez over here says, I'm not paying.
Right. Well, he said he would at first, but now all of a sudden he says he's not responsible.
He says he's not paying because his balloon missed.
That's right.
And there were only 2 dents in the car.
Right.
Right? Now, what prompted you and your idiot friends to engage in this kind of conduct?
We had nothing else better to do.
Was that during the week?
It was on Saturday.
You had nothing to do on Saturday?
No, man.
How'd you get a job?
Should do that.
What were you throwing?
We were throwing water balloons at each other for the day. And then we got tired of throwing them, so then we just lost them over the wall when we saw the car. And we hit the car.
Did you say we hit the car?
Well, there was 4 of us.
Yes.
And then when we threw it, I watched my water balloon, and mine went right over the top. And my 2 friends, there was 4 of us, and we threw 4 water balloons, and 2 out of 4 hit the car.
Okay. And you watched yours very carefully, and yours missed. So therefore, you're not responsible for the damage.
Yes.
Wrong! Let me see the estimate for the damage. Fool. An idiot. Maybe he can't find the job. 531. Make it 532, this change. Divided by 3.
$177.33.
Co-conspirators to commit the act of vandalism. That's what you were. Co-conspirators, right?
Right.
You mean because of the Earth's spin and gravity and luck, maybe your balloon didn't hit? You're not responsible?
I feel I'm not.
You still feel as if you're not?
Yeah.
Were you alone?
No, I had my little sister with me who's 13, my husband, and my baby, my 8-month-old baby, and my 4-year-old daughter.
So let's say, Mr. Rodriguez, that all you idiots threw your balloons over, a couple of them hit. The plaintiff swerves. It's a wall, and her baby is severely injured. Would you be responsible?
Yes.
Why do you think you'd be responsible if your balloon didn't hit?
Because I helped doing it.
Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $177.33. I just wanted him to see.
Right. That's why I was so mad.
Right. He may still not see,
Probably
but maybe
not.
he does. Fool.
Yeah, definitely.
18-year-old fool, not 6 years old.
Right.
Throwing water balloons. 18 years old.
See, please.
Miss Allen, you and the defendant lived together for how long?
About 2 years.
And you have no children together?
No, we do not.
But you just resided in the same apartment?
Correct.
Okay. And according to your complaint, there came a time when Mr. Andrews had fallen behind in some child support payments to former mate, former spouse, ex-wife. He faced the potential of being incarcerated. It's sort of convoluted, but I gather that he couldn't ask his parents for money directly.
Correct.
So you made arrangements to borrow the $1,300 that he needed with the understanding and the promise to his parents that you would pay that debt back to them when you got your tax return.
Correct.
You say you got your tax return, you did pay them back $1,300, you and the defendant went your separate ways, and you want the $1,300 back from him.
Correct.
And Mr. Andrews says that the money was joint. Money that was paid back to his parents, he acknowledges that it was paid back to his parents, but it came out of a joint account. That's your defense, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not true.
When did you go to court for child support, sir?
3 of 98.
And how much did you owe in child support?
I owed, what I needed to pay was like $1,843.
What did you owe?
$2,300. $2,300.
And what were you told if you didn't come up with $1,800?
That I could possibly go to jail.
So what did you do?
I talked with, Kim and I went over and talked with my mom and dad.
So the two of you went over together?
Absolutely. We were in my attorney's office. We went and talked to my mom and dad about borrowing the money from them. We borrowed part of the money from him. We didn't borrow all the money from him because
Borrowed
we had
$1,300.
$1,300, right?
Okay.
Right.
$1,300 from your parents.
Right.
Had you borrowed money from them before?
Yes.
Often?
Not often. My mom and dad are not big on loaning money. They like for you to kind of make your own way.
Was there any discussion at that time of when they were going to be paid back?
Yes, that would be their first question. How and when are you going to pay me back?
And what was the discussion?
The discussion was we wrote them a check for part of it. They were to cash it on a certain date, and that...
Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
This is March of '98.
Yes, ma'am.
You wrote out a check to your parents.
Yes, ma'am.
Which I assume you have.
No, I
Cancel
don't.
check?
I have no check stuff. She has all that.
You have them?
I do.
And what was the date of the first payment to his parents?
That was on March 10th.
That's when the first payment was to be made to them.
That
they
was
could cash
when-
the check.
That was when I got my taxes back and the check was sent to them.
Let me see. Are you telling me that at the time you took out this, you borrowed $1,300, you did not in fact give them a check, as Mr. Andrews says?
No, we
stated?
did not.
Partial check.
No, we
Partial
did not.
check. For how much?
It was $500 and some odd dollars because you can see I have a $1,843 payment that was made on 3 of 98 to the child support
No,
services.
listen to me, sir.
Okay.
That wasn't made to your parents. If you owed them $1,800, you borrowed $1,300 for your parents, you didn't make your parents a payment of $500. You made the government. You sent to the child collection unit $500.
No, I borrowed $1,843 from my mom and dad and sent my mom and dad a check for $500 and whatever odd dollars it was.
The check
if
that
I'm not
they
mistaken.
gave him, the pink copy at the top, is for $1,343, and that is what we borrowed from them. They had made the check out to him to pay to Alamance County Courthouse.
Right. My mom and dad gave me a check, and I went and got a counter check for it, a bank check for it.
Doesn't make any difference. They gave you $1,300. That's all. That's what they gave you. They didn't give you $1,800.
Okay.
So the $500, you didn't give them a payment for $500, which is exactly what I said, Mr. Andrews. You gave the court $1,800, $1,300 from your parents, and $500 from you.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Well, it's been so long ago, some of these money amounts are not quite...
Well, you've been living with this situation, sir. I've only been trying to understand for 3 minutes, and I got it.
I understand.
Okay, good. I'm glad you understand. So now we're down to $1,300. Now, the $1,300 was repaid on the 10th of March.
And that was out of his account, ma'am. It was not out of a joint account. That was out of his account.
How did this $1,343 get into your account, sir?
I would assume we had both put it in there.
Don't assume anything. Try to remember.
I'm sure she got her tax money back, put it back in there, put it in there. She has held all my financial records. I have nothing.
I didn't hold them, ma'am.
If you look at who wrote that check, you'll see her handwriting.
No, that's your
Just a
handwriting.
second.
Is it?
Joe, just a second. Oh, it's your handwriting.
It is? Okay. I haven't seen it. She kept it all.
Mr. Andrews, you said rather emphatically a moment ago that it wasn't your handwriting, that you remembered.
She usually wrote all the checks. She even wrote checks out of my
But
account.
do you understand what I just said
Oh,
to
I
you? You
understand.
said it's not my handwriting. She wrote the check.
Right. I
That was
understand.
said with a certain authority.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, so this money came out of your account just a few days later
Right.
to pay back your parents.
Right.
It didn't come out of a joint account. It came out of your account.
Right.
Did you put the money there?
I don't know if I put any of it there, to be honest with you. It's been so long ago. I'm sure that when we talked to my mom and dad, we had a method of paying them back, and the method was...
Well, the
she
method
was
of paying them
having
back was...
tax money. Right, exactly.
Tax money.
Exactly.
Her tax money.
Right. She had definitely, yeah.
So why don't you owe her this money?
I have no idea. I don't think I owe her
said-
any money.
Well, explain that to me. I mean, your answer, Mr. Andrews, says that the money was paid from a joint... Let me
Right.
try to...
And that was best of my recollection. She's had...
That doesn't say to the best of your recollection here.
I
It
understand.
says, my parents loaned Kim and I the money to pay my child support payments.
Right.
We paid them back around a month later from our joint bank account.
This is not the first loan that Kim and I have had with my parents. And we've
This is
had
the
loans
only
with-
loan. Just a
we've
second.
had loan-
This is the only loan I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, it was.
This is the only loan that's being sued for,
Right.
and your parents aren't suing you. They got their money back.
Right. Right.
So what you're telling me now, Mr. Andrews, after some dancing around, is that the money was, in fact, put in your account by the plaintiff to pay back your parents, and it was put there from her tax return.
I'm sure it was.
Good. Now, did you pay her back?
Not directly in a $1,300 check. I worked every day, check every week.
So
you know,
did
I was
I,
the
man.
breadwinner. You know.
So, no.
I brought the money
I
in the
brought home-
household.
Just a second.
She didn't want me to go to jail because she wanted to make sure somebody was there to support her.
Well, were you working during that time? Let me ask you this question, Mr. Andrews. If she was getting a tax refund, that means she was employed.
I have 2 children.
Just a second. That means she was employed
Right,
and earning money,
right.
so that you weren't supporting her.
Not totally.
Even
And
if he wasn't
certainly,
there.
sir, she had more money than you did because you fell behind in your child support payments, so you couldn't even keep up your primary obligation, which is to support your children.
Right. My actual child support was, there was an order to modify that. The original order that was put in was incorrect. I was paying for children that weren't mine, and it was overpayment, underpayment.
What do you mean you were
was-
paying for children that weren't yours?
The first order that I had was for a child that wasn't mine. I was paying child support for 2 children, and I only had 1 child.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It wasn't a stranger that they picked out of a bucket and said, Mr. Andrews, you're going to pay for this child. So who is this child?
Well, actually, my wife had this child while we were still married, but it was another man's child.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kim Allen is suing former boyfriend, Thomas Andrews, for a loan to pay his child support. He says he paid it back.
Were you paying for 2 children, sir, because both of those children were receiving welfare?
No.
Well, the only way you can pay for a child that's not yours, in most jurisdictions in this country, is if you're married to their mother and you are their step-parent, and there isn't another deep pocket to go after, so they say as a step-parent you are responsible for paying support, at least to the amount that the citizens are paying for that child support.
Right.
So is this child that you say, I find this interesting, is the child that is not yours a child that is totally unknown to you?
No, not unknown to me. No,
It wasn't a stranger that they picked out of a bucket and said, Mr. Andrews, you're going to pay for this child. So who is this child?
That child was my ex-wife's child.
Right. So
Right,
you were
exactly.
the stepfather of that child.
For about 3, yes, exactly.
Right. And as the stepfather of that child, there was a time when those 2 children were receiving public assistance.
No, well, I get if yes, sure.
And therefore, the state was pursuing you for child support for both of those children. While the relationship of step-parent, stepchild existed until you were divorced.
Well, actually, my wife had this child while we were still married, but it was another man's child.
Oh, well, that makes it even more interesting. Still in all, there must have been welfare involved.
Right.
If you're going to be a good judge in the family court, you got to learn one thing. It's not like any other business. You got to follow the money.
Right.
You owe $1,300, judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, ma'am.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I lent him that money, and he promised me he'd pay me back, and it was my money to begin with because I earned it.
I do not believe I owe her any money at all. I have put money in that relationship to ends meet, and I guess hopefully this will be finished. She has been pursuing me for money, and hopefully this will be the last straw.
I called him a few times, and first time he said he had to think about it. Second time he said he wasn't going to. So that was my money, and I was going to get it.
She just keeps digging for money. I've got receipts here where she dug for money last year. Hopefully this will put a stop to it.
Girls out there, women out there, don't just give your money to any man.
Bring it to the diva of truth and justice, Judge Judy.
That's right.
And now the next case.
All parties on Seamus versus Summer. Step forward, please.
26-year-old second-grade teacher Corey Sheamus is suing ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old music teacher David Somer, for a computer and a tattoo.
Miss Sheamus, were you dating the defendant for a while?
Yes, I had been.
And during that time, a sister gave him a computer. You said that you would hook up the computer or do whatever you do with computers, and while you were doing that, you broke it. Is that right?
It had crashed and some things needed to be reinstalled. It wasn't totally broken.
But that's while you were working on it.
Right.
So according to your complaint, you went out with the defendant, purchased a new computer, loaned him $400 towards a new computer. Second part of your complaint is you wanted to get tattooed. You wanted to get joint tattoos. He didn't have any money. You laid out the money. It was $600 in total, and he gave you $50 towards the purchase of a computer. Is that right?
They weren't, it wasn't joint tattoos. We were going to get them together.
Or you were going to get them at the same time. He says he never accepted any of this as a loan, but I assume that you purchased the computer because you broke the one he had, and the tattoos were a gift. Okay. Plaintiff came over and you asked her to help you, or she volunteered?
She had volunteered.
Is that right?
He said, well, you know what you're doing, so go ahead and work on the computer.
So you did, it broke. Then what did you do?
Then we decided to take it to a computer store and see how much it would be to get the programs reinstalled that we needed to reinstall to fix it.
Okay, is that, so far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you both learn at the computer store?
It was going to be about as much, maybe a little bit less to get the computer fixed than to purchase a new one.
So what was the conversation?
I said, I will loan you the money and you can pay me back. The agreement was he was going to pay me back as much as he could every week, $25, $50 until it was paid off.
The computer was originally to be used in my work, my business, and that's where everything had happened. She had felt bad about breaking my computer, therefore she bought me the new computer.
Well, don't tell me what she felt. Did you have a discussion with her about payment for the computer?
No, she said, I broke your computer, so I'm going to get you a new one.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why would you indulge yourself advancing him another $200 to put him another $200 in debt to you to get something that was whimsical, like a tattoo?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Corey Seamus is suing former boyfriend David Somer for a computer and a tattoo.
Did he make any payments at all?
He made one payment of $50.
When?
Probably a week or so after it was initially purchased.
What did you give her the $50 for?
That's all I had. I figured if she's going to buy me a computer, I may as well give her what I have for it.
You sent that 2 weeks later?
No, the money I gave her was that day that we purchased the computer.
So you didn't send her anything afterwards?
No, it was that day.
That's not correct. When we went to purchase the computer, he paid $50 or $60. He put, that's what he had on him. I had paid for the rest. And then it was a week or so, a few weeks later, he gave me $50.
I wasn't working, I had no source of income. There was no way that that was possible.
He gave me $50 a couple weeks later.
What did he say when he gave you $50 a couple of weeks later?
At that point, I believe we were still dating, and he said, I have some money. He was planning on paying me back. He'd even told me he's planning on paying me back. Whenever he had a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, he was going to pay me back.
All right, now let me hear about the tattoos.
I decided that I wanted to get one, and we decided we were going to go get one together, and he said that he was going to have the money at the end of the week.
So what did you say? So
I said, I will loan you the $200 for the tattoo. We'll get them, and you'll pay me back at the end of the week.
If you knew he had no money for a computer, why would you indulge yourself in advancing him another $200 to put him another $200 in debt to you to get something that was whimsical, like a tattoo?
Because I was afraid I'd chicken out on getting the tattoo.
Then that's what you wrote here. Then that's your problem.
But
no.
Your Honor, I also have internet messages back and forth and emails from David.
Let me see.
And you'll see on those internet messages, he says, I'm a man of my word. I hope you're recording these messages. I plan on paying you. I'm just not working.
Just a second. Could you show this to the defendant, please?
I have an extra copy. Do you want me to?
No, let him just look it over briefly. Does that refresh your recollection?
Yes, ma'am, but she also does not have, I don't have them either, but copies of harassments towards me. This was after the harassments.
Just a second, sir.
Yes, sir.
Were you in the privacy of your own home when you had this conversation
Yes, ma'am.
with her? So you weren't being harassed at the time? Nobody was holding a gun to your head, is that right?
No, ma'am.
And you had this conversation where you clearly say to her, you'll get your money, but right now you can't get blood from a stone. I'll give it to you when I have it. You want me to give you some other quotes?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Seamus, you acted foolishly. Foolishly because at the same time when he didn't have enough money to buy something that he needed for work, according to him, you decided that you wanted to have a tattoo. And it couldn't wait.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Based upon your correspondence, sir, these were loans, not gifts.
Before this, I was receiving phone call after phone call, emails, instant messages. I want money, I want money. My mom had told me, just tell her you're going to pay her and get her off your back.
That's not what that says, sir. This is a 4-page dialogue. You should have listened to your mother. You should have paid her. Because there's nothing like a woman that feels as if not only has a relationship expired, but it's expired, and she's $600 out with a tattoo, no less. Can I have the evidence back, please, Bert? Now, my only problem, Mr. Sommer, is she's suing for $550. According to you, you owe her $600. She says that you gave her a check for $50 2 weeks after the computer was purchased. You say you never sent her such a check. You think she's wrong?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then you would owe her more than she's suing for.
No, I paid her the day of. I gave her $60.
In any event, Ms. Seamus, he doesn't get it. You're only suing for $550. That's what you say he owes. He would like to pay you more, but I can't let him do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $550. That's all.
Anyone on the calendar, the matter of Grossheim versus Snyder.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Where's the boyfriend? He's your boyfriend. You dated him for a while.
Yeah.
And now the two of you are fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Isn't that ridiculous? That is so ridiculous. Stand up. How are you related to this case?
She's my daughter.
And this is her boyfriend. Do you like him?
Love him.
Do you love him?
Love him.
Let me see if I love him.
He's a great kid.
Your first name is?
Kevin.
How old are you, Kevin?
I'm 18.
What do you do?
I work at Starbucks. I'm a barista.
When did you graduate from high school?
07.
And how long have you worked at Starbucks?
About 4, maybe 5 weeks.
What did you do before that?
Before that, I was a full-time student at Pierce College.
And what happened?
I needed money and I needed to work, so I cut my time at school so I could work and pay
you go
bills.
to school too?
Mm-hmm.
How many credits are you taking?
Right now, 12.
And you're working at Starbucks to make money?
Yes.
So far, I'm loving him. Who do you live with?
My dad.
Get along okay?
Yeah.
Good. Anybody else live with you?
No.
Just the two of you?
Yeah, I left my mom's house when I was about 13.
And you've been with your dad for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
What college do you go to?
Pierce College.
Do okay?
Yeah, pretty good.
And this is your girlfriend?
Yes.
There came a time when you broke up and you were dating Miss Snyder?
I saw Jessica for about 3 years, from 9th grade through 11th. After that, we broke up for about, I would say maybe a year. In that time, I was best friends with Amber. And then we dated for about, I'd say maybe a week to 2 weeks.
When you say dated, does that mean from being friends you were intimate for about a week?
We were intimate for a little longer than that, but the actual name, girlfriend, boyfriend,
Was a week?
probably, I think it was about a week.
Nothing to build a lifetime on.
No.
And then you went back to your girlfriend.
Yeah, a few months after.
Could do worse? Sit down. It is your claim that Miss Snyder has twice vandalized your car and assaulted you.
Yes.
Miss Snyder says that she did not vandalize your car and that she really doesn't remember the assault because she was too drunk, if I'm reading your answer correctly.
I don't remember who started the fight, but I remember
You remember being in a fight, but you don't remember how it started.
the tussling on the ground.
Okay. Why don't you tell me when your car was vandalized?
It happened twice. And the first time, I believe it happened August 24th or August 25th, one of those.
Of 07.
Yes. I was at my friend Alexis's house, who's here with me right now, and she had some people over. Kevin came, and Amber and I believe Cameron, which is her other witness, dropped Kevin off. And
To drop him off?
Yes. They weren't invited. Amber later came back and picked up Kevin, and in the morning when I woke up, my car was keyed. Everybody at that house, like I was really good friends with for years.
So you think it was the defendant?
Yes, and everybody, I know they're not here with me right now, but people agree. I'm a witness.
Is that the only evidence that you have that Miss Snyder keyed your car?
For the keying, yes.
So you understand that that's not sufficient evidence?
Yes.
Okay, so that incident that happened on the 24th or the 25th of August is dismissed. What's next?
Okay, so even prior to that, she was...
Go prior.
Okay, well, after that also, she was calling Kevin, threatening to, I'm sorry, my car, to me up if I was around. She wouldn't come anywhere if I was there, and she was complaining that I was stealing all of her friends from her when it was really her who was keeping herself from coming. She actually have MySpace messages that she posted. Would you like to read them? Okay. I
would like to know what this has to do with the second act of vandalism.
Well, she was telling me to watch my back. She was calling me a stupid. She wrote, "I won't hesitate to smash your ugly face in. You seriously hope you should never see me." She admitted that this was about me, said that the next time she sees me, she will make a move. She's not scared of anyone, and everybody knows that she can beat my... We could ask anyone.
Just a second. We get to the second act of vandalism on your car.
Yes, this all ties into it, because this is what she wrote on MySpace, and then it happened. She was calling Kevin constantly, saying, "Why the is that car at your house? What is she doing over there?" Like, that happened multiple times.
I understand that she's using some profanity. You don't have to keep using it.
Sorry. So she basically had the motive and the opportunity to mess with my things.
Okay, so that also, you understand, is not evidence.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the assault.
Well, I guess it ties into what I was telling you before. She actually got in a physical fight with her, Alexis, because she was defending me in this message. And after that, I saw her at multiple parties. Alex, which will probably deny it, came over to me telling me to leave the parties because Amber's threatening to kick my, butt or whatever.
Those aren't my exact words.
No, well, those aren't her exact words, but she was telling me to leave because of Amber. It happened multiple times. I stayed away from her. One party, a whole bunch of her friends were holding her back. She threatened to spit on me.
Would you tell me what happened with regard to the assault, please?
Okay, so the final actual assault that happened.
Date?
March 7th? Yeah, March 7th. One of our friends were having a party, and we were both there, and it was really big. There were lots of rooms, lots of people there. Well, at one point in the night, she walked by me and, pushed me, with her shoulder, and I told her not to push me. She got in my face, said she could push me if she wants to. There was some, profanity in there. One of my guy friends broke us up. Well, not really broke us up. He just stood to make sure nothing happens. Well, closer to the end of the night, she had ran over to Kevin and was telling him, you better take, your whatever girlfriend outside. I'm gonna beat her face in, or whatever she was saying. And then Kevin, literally dragged me outside. She ran out there with a bottle of something in her hand. She was in my face. We were both yelling at each other. I told her to put the bottle down, because in the past, she has actually smashed bottles over people's heads.
And present.
Yes, and present. And it's ironic because she actually did it to her boyfriend that she has now, to his ex-girlfriend a few weeks ago. And it's the truth.
Just tell me what happened to you.
So she was yelling at me. She put the bottle down. I went to turn around. She punched me in the face. Where we ended up on the floor, punching, hitting, kicking each other.
Just a second. Well, that's a fight.
Yes.
But she put her hands on you first.
Yes. She punched me when I turned around.
Were you injured?
I had bruises and I had some scratches on my face.
Yeah.
And I have a chiropractor bill also.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Ms. Snyder, you understand that you have lots of questions to answer for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Your Honor, can I say something as well?
About?
About the all the assaults that were going on?
I'm only here about one assault.
Well, it was one physical assault, but there was many threats.
I'm not interested in the threats. I'm here about this assault.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't think it was intentional. I think
of course it was intentional. I don't care. Listen to me. I don't care about what the operation of your mind is. All you tell me is what you saw and what you heard.
Time says her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, Amber Snyder, vandalized her car and assaulted her during a party. Amber denies the vandalism and claims Jessica started the fight.
What I want to know, Ms. Snyder, is why, and it's clear to me, you're angry with her.
Very.
Why?
Because just animosity built up from, me and her became friends after all the vandalizing happened. And we became friends for about I'd say December to March. And I mean, we hung out, we called each other. It wasn't just, it's okay to hang out. We actually called each other on our own cell phones. And then she was
and this was after?
This was after the vandalizing happened.
This is after?
I have proof that we weren't friends. Right here.
Hey, She didn't interrupt you. You're not to interrupt her. Do we understand each other? This was after you and Kevin were no longer seeing each other. So this is in March.
This started in December, and then it ended in March. Then we made an agreement where, like, she was like, okay, well, I'd rather have your friendship over, like, Kevin. And I was like, okay. And then
so she said to you, I prefer having a friendship with you and not being with Kevin.
Yeah.
And then she went back to Kevin.
Yeah, and then it was
just a second. And that's why you're angry.
Yeah, because I like being friends with her. And then it was, like, downhill.
What's your first name, Amber?
Yeah.
Amber, listen to me very carefully, sweetheart. Men are never worth fighting over.
So I've heard from a lot of people now.
Get one, find another one. Do you understand? Never worth two women fighting over. It's demeaning. Second, I think that as much as he's a very nice guy, the fact that he was intimate with this young lady for a week shows just a little bit of a flaw in his character. A little bit of a flaw, because she clearly thought that she was a more important person in his, put your hand down, more important person in his life than he did. Women tend to hold on to that feeling. You understand that?
I've been with my husband since I was 16, so.
So you get it?
I get it.
You get it.
But I would never fight over a man.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous. Fight the man. Beat him up.
But, Your Honor, she wasn't fighting over him. She was.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
She. You want to get I never understand why they go after the new girlfriend. They ought to go after the husband. That's what they should go after. What are they going after the new girlfriend for? Listen, I don't know whether you vandalized her car. Only you know whether you vandalized her car. If you did it, whether you did it alone or with your friends, only you know that. Unfortunately, in a courtroom setting, we have proof, and that doesn't rise to the level of proof. So now you're going to tell me that you don't remember how this fight got started on March 7th.
I do remember all the yelling, and then, I don't know, I admit that I was maybe a little too drunk, and I just blacked out, and all of a sudden I remember being pulled to the ground and her being on top of me.
I was with her that night, and I witnessed the whole thing, and I had not had a sip of alcohol.
Then, just a second, then come up here and I'm going to hear you. Tell me your name.
I'm Alex DiLorenzo.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of things Jessica was saying about that night are true. When she was walking by, Amber did brush her on her shoulder. There's obviously tension.
What's a brush? Explain to me what a brush is.
Sorry if I'm not using the right words.
No, I want to know what a brush is.
When they were walking by.
Is it a body? Is it a body thing? So
yeah, like a hit on the shoulder, and it's like kind of like a get out of my way. They were both in the room. They don't like each other. They've had problems in the past. So
just listen to me. She body Englished her.
I don't think it was intentional. I think
of course it was intentional. I don't care. Listen to me. I don't care what you think.
Okay.
I don't care about what the operation of your mind is. All you tell me is what you saw and what you heard. And what you saw is Miss Snyder pushing her body against the plaintiff. That's what we saw. And then what did you see?
Okay. They got into a verbal confrontation.
Miss Grosheim said what? Do you remember?
Yes.
No, don't listen to me. Don't make it up.
No, Amber, don't effing push me or something like that.
Fine. I believe that she probably said it because that doesn't sound like it's something unusual for her to say.
Okay. After that, things had settled. Jessica was in a different room. Amber was in a different room. At that point, they got into another confrontation.
How did they? Just a second. They were each in separate rooms. Were they screaming at each other from room to room?
No.
No, look. I ask the questions. You answer the questions. What room was Miss Snyder in?
The living room.
Shut. Don't go any further. The defendant was in the living room. And where was the plaintiff?
The house had two living rooms. One was close to a backyard, which is where Miss Amber was. And then Jessica was in...
Don't clack up with the bracelets, please.
Sorry. And then the living room, there was a pool table closer to the door of the front entranceway. There was two living rooms. Like, you walk in through the house like this, the door.
Don't tell me like this, like this. They were each in a separate room,
living room.
Separate living rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when they got into the confrontation, in what room was the confrontation? Look at me. In what room was the confrontation?
The kitchen.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The boyfriend came in because he heard the screaming back and forth. He grabbed her and said, let's get outside. You followed her outside. Now tell me what happened outside, Miss Troublemaker.
Closed captioning sponsored by Grosheim says her boyfriend's ex, Amber Snyder, owes for vandalism and an assault.
Who went into the kitchen?
I'm not sure who was in there first.
So you don't know, so that they weren't in two separate rooms?
No, this was all verbal fighting. The physical assault hadn't happened yet.
I'm talking about how they ended up in the same room to have a verbal confrontation.
They both had to have walked in there, I guess, at different times. And
You didn't see who walked in from where?
No, I did not see because I was with Amber and I know when we walked in, and I think Jessica was already in there, but like I said, I'm not sure.
So Miss Groshheim was already in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And you walked in with Miss Snyder to the kitchen.
We had no idea.
Just a sec. Don't tell me what was in the operation of her mind. Hers. You walked into where she was in the kitchen. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what happened when you got there?
Amber saw that she was in the room, and they both started arguing.
No. Somebody said something first. And if you don't remember, I would suggest you say, I don't remember.
That's what I was going to tell you. I don't remember who said something first. That's why
Fine.
I said they started verbally arguing.
Okay, but Miss Snyder went into the area where Miss Groshheim was.
Yes.
And where did this altercation continue?
Jessica was dragged outside, and we were all...
Shh. Was dragged outside by whom? Look at me. Was dragged outside by whom?
Kevin and other people, her friends that she wasn't with, and we were being forced
Just a second. So Kevin took his girlfriend and pulled her outside. And right now in the kitchen, all there was going on was a lot of verbal back and forth.
Yes.
So now Miss Groshheim is outside with her boyfriend, correct?
Correct.
And where is the lovely Miss Amber?
With me, and we're being forced out of the house at this point.
Just a second. I want you to tell me being forced is not what happened. I want you to tell me where you went from the kitchen.
We went in the front yard from the kitchen. The owner of the house asked us to leave at this point because of all the verbal confrontations. So we were asked to leave. We walked outside. From there, another verbal altercation started.
Just a minute. Let's look at the objective data, Miss Troublemaker. The plaintiff was in the kitchen. You followed her into the kitchen. The boyfriend came in because he heard the screaming back and forth. He grabbed her and said, let's get outside. They took her outside, and then you and Miss Amber went outside where she was, where the verbal back and forth continued. So she left the area, you followed her outside. Now tell me what happened outside.
They started arguing.
Again, right?
Yes, they started arguing again, but this time Jessica said something to Amber, like Amber's boyfriend at the time was there, and Jessica said, he's a great guy, he's a great guy, something about, why are you doing this? And she started unloading things, saying things to obviously get a rise out of her, things like,
Just
you know,
a second.
why do you care?
That's not getting a rise out of her, you idiot. That's saying, why are you continuing this? You have a nice boyfriend. Why don't you get over this? That's what you said. Just a second. That's what you said, she said.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What was the result of that?
A friend that was there, I believe he was a friend of Jessica's, came in between them.
Listen to me. I don't care what you believe. Somebody got in between them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, don't go over there, right here. And then...
It looked like Jessica pushed her.
What do you mean? What do we mean by that, sweetheart? It looked like Jessica pushed her. Is that the brush, like the brush with the shoulder?
No.
Well, explain to me, what do you mean? It looks like Jessica
There's a person between them, and Jessica puts her arms up.
And?
And then Amber went in to hit her.
And now you can sit down. You got to learn to keep your hands to yourself. Do you understand? Yeah. Judging for the plaintiff for the amount of $1,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. Bonini versus Hamilton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mr. Hamilton owns a bar and grill. You were waiting outside the bar to get in. There was a line.
Yes.
On what date?
June 24th, 2006.
According to your complaint, you were injured while you were standing on line by one of defendant's employees.
That's correct.
I assume that would be this gentleman.
I actually am not sure.
Would that be you?
No.
Were you there June 24th?
Yes, I am the doorman.
Okay. Mr. Hamilton wasn't there. He really doesn't know what happened, but he denies, based upon, I assume, what this gentleman says, that you were, in fact, injured on that date. He doesn't deny that there was some sort of an altercation, but he says that you were not injured. What time of the evening did this incident occur?
It was around 10:30.
Who were you there with?
I was with two of my friends from college.
Either one of them here?
No, they actually did not witness the incident. They were inside using the restroom.
Why were you outside on line?
I was waiting at the front of the line about to have my ID checked, and they were on their way back when this all went down.
Tell me what happened, Miss Giovanni.
I was about to have my ID checked. The next thing I remember is waking up face down with my face in the concrete. The gentleman who was standing behind me in line, who I now know to be Eric Crisp, he was not a friend of mine ahead of time. He told me that, well, he was very concerned.
That's all you remember?
Right.
You were on line. The next thing you know, you were on the ground, face down.
Yes.
You were the witness?
Yes.
Just stand up, please, sir. Your last name is?
Crisp, C-R-I-S-P.
Mr. Crisp, you were on line, right behind her?
I was in line with her, yes.
Tell me what you observed.
Well, I was actually, I was pretty much next to her. Saw some commotion going on inside the bar. I'm not sure exactly if it was a bartender or not, but from what testimony was given to me, gentleman was picked up. I saw him coming at me.
I just want you
I saw him coming at me.
you saw.
Okay, I saw two men coming at me, one being picked up. I dodged out of the way. I heard a thud, and I looked back, and I saw Angie on the ground.
You didn't know her before that evening?
No, not at all.
Did you subsequently ascertain who the people were?
I did ask the doorman who that was.
This gentleman.
I'm not exactly sure if that was him or not.
Stand
I know
up,
he was.
Sir. Your last name is?
Garcia.
Mr. Garcia, who were the people involved in the altercation on the 24th of June?
There was a bartender.
Bartender's name was?
Carlson.
And what did you see Mr. Carlson do?
He was escorting a customer out of the bar that was
How was he
stealing.
escorting him out?
He had him by the arms and was forcing him out because he had stole a bottle and was resisting him throwing him out.
So he was throwing him out?
Yes.
And what did you observe?
I heard the
Look
commotion.
at me.
I had heard the commotion, and I turned around and let the rope down to allow him to be thrown out. And he, in turn, bumped into the plaintiff, and she
As he
fell
was
back.
throwing out this patron?
Yes. And she fell back into the line, never fell onto the ground.
Where did you see her, Mr. Crisp?
On the ground.
I was standing in front of her, so she would have fallen into me because it's a real tight quarters. It's very tight quarters. And there was a long line, maybe of 50, 60 people.
Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Did you ever meet Mr. Crisp before?
No, ma'am.
Has he ever been to the bar before?
Not that I know of.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Crisp?
I work as a senior finance analyst for a law firm.
How long have you worked for the law firm?
Approximately a year.
Graduate from college?
I did.
Professional school?
Yes, Cal State Fullerton.
Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
You think of any reason why Mr. Crisp, who is unknown to the plaintiff, would not only testify falsely, sir, but take time to come to court to testify on her behalf, that he turned around and saw her on the ground, Mr. Garcia? I can understand why you might say she never fell on the ground.
Why?
Why?
Yeah,
because
why?
he's your employee, Mr. Hamilton. That's why.
I asked him
I've
to
been there
tell
for
me,
8 years. I've
honest,
never had a
we
problem.
have insurance for...
Mr. Hamilton,
Yes.
then I will ask you the question, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Crisp, let me
Well,
back
he's a
up.
lawyer. Maybe
Let me
he's trying
back
to
up.
drum up business.
Let me back up a second. Well, that's the most
I can
ridiculous thing. If you're going to be a wise guy, Mr. Hamilton, I'm going to fight for the plaintiff and throw you out. So don't be a wise guy. Now, it's my job, and I've been doing it for a very long time, to test the veracity of people's statements, whether or not they are telling me the truth. And there's no question that Mr. Crisp is telling me the truth as far as these facts, that prior to June 24th, 2006, he was unknown to the plaintiff, and she unknown to him. Has she retained your law firm to sue anyone?
Not at all. We're not personal injury.
He has no particular... Put your hand down, unless you want to modify your statement.
Yes, I do.
Fine. Then modify your statement, Mr. Garcia.
When she fell back into the crowd, the people that frequent the bar, young, 21, 22 years old, were saying, oh, sue the bar, sue the bar. Everybody thinks that that's funny. Oh, sue the bar.
And
that's what everybody was saying, and I had to calm them down.
I'm not talking about that, Mr. Garcia. I'm talking about her being on the ground.
Okay. She wasn't on the ground, but
Oh, I think she was. I absolutely think she was.
there would be no way for her to fall onto the ground because everyone was so close.
I can't think of a reason why Mr. Crisp would lie to me. I can't think of a reason.
I've been there 8 years. I run a very, very tight ship.
Well, then you...
I'm very infamous
Then
for
you,
being-
Mr. Garcia,
for
have
being
an
abrupt with
absolute
people.
reason to tell me that you didn't see her on the ground.
I saw her fall back, but not
Fine.
face
Fine.
down on the ground.
You saw her fall back.
Into a crowd of
I'm
people.
speaking. And she fell back as a result of being pushed, not intentionally, I assume, but pushed by the actions of Mr. Hamilton's employee. in ejecting a patron.
Yes.
Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, that would.
May I see the medical records you have, please?
Would it be Mr. Hamilton's employees or Malarkey's Irish Pub's employees?
It doesn't make any difference, sir.
Does it?
No.
I mean, she's suing me personally. I am an officer of the corporation. It's owned by a corporation.
I actually put both on
Just
the
a second.
original case.
Did you accept service? Did you accept service, Mr. Hamilton?
I was never personally served. Something was mailed to me.
And
Is
you're
that
here.
accepting?
And you're here.
Yes, I am here.
And you did not have an attorney put in an answer to the court indicating that the court had no jurisdiction because the corporation wasn't served.
Well, she probably just would have refiled it again, so why not get it over
Then
with?
why raise it now? Then why raise it now?
Because
Good.
as additional complaint is Malarkey's. I just want to make sure that Bill Hamilton isn't responsible because I am not Malarkey's. I'm an individual.
You are here, sir, neither you nor an attorney on behalf of a company in which I assume you are the primary shareholder?
No, that's not correct.
Who is?
My father.
How old is he?
85, 83.
When was the last time he was in the business?
He retired about 8 years ago.
Good. I wonder how on the 24th of June, Mr. Garcia, and I'm not talking about her complaint of a head contusion, but that the examining emergency room doctor found that she had facial abrasions.
I invited her into the bar after it happened.
Yes.
To buy her a drink, and she walked in and came back out a few minutes later.
Yes.
She could have gone to another bar.
Mr.
How would I
Garcia
know that?
invited me in to offer me free drinks for the night, I believe is a way to buy me off.
No, it's not a way to buy you off.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It was the patron we escorted out that hit Angie.
Mr. Hamilton, that's like saying that it was the bullet that hit the victim, not the gun that caused the bullet to hit the victim.
And later today,
And how old was he when they started to live together?
Probably 19.
And she was?
17.
Don't do anything so stupid again, will you please?
Oh, God, I know.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angelina Giovannini says bar manager Bill Hamilton should pay for her medical bills. Angelina says one of Bill's employees knocked her to the ground during a scuffle with a patron.
Yes, sir.
I was the one that actually recommended that Angie's friends take her to the emergency room because of the thud that I heard on the ground resulting from that.
And the fact
it
that
it was not a simple push. It was more of a tackle, get a guy out of a bar very inappropriately in my eyes. I couldn't believe it myself.
There was a 2.2 by 2 centimeter contusion on the front of her forehead, Mr. Hamilton, according to the emergency room doctor, as relayed in the diagram from the emergency room.
That was never submitted to me.
Well, I'm going to show it to you, sir.
No, I'll believe you. All I'm saying is that was never submitted to me.
Well, but I'm showing this to you. Don't you want to see it?
Not really. If you say it's there, it's there.
Hospital room technicians finds a hematoma to the forehead. Hematoma noted on the upper right forehead. What happened to the bartender?
He went inside and continued working.
Is he still there?
Yes.
Why isn't he here today? He's a witness under your control, Mr. Hamilton. Why isn't he here today?
Because Richard saw it all. He's my doorman. I asked him to come.
Why didn't you have both of them come?
I'm
not speaking to you.
I never thought, I thought one person would be adequate.
Well, but you brought then the person who, A, was not directly involved with the confrontation, and B, whose responsibility it was at the door to maintain order. Isn't that your job, sir?
That is correct.
How many people on the line?
Maybe 50 to 60.
And there was a commotion inside the bar.
Yes.
Is that correct? So your primary responsibility is to maintain order.
Yes.
Right. So I would have, Mr. Hamilton, have thought that you would have brought the person whose primary focus was what was going on at that very moment and ejecting someone and who had direct physical contact with the plaintiff. Not somebody whose direction was 50 or 60 people standing on the line, a commotion inside the bar, and then something that happened outside the bar. It's just interesting to me.
Now, Richard works at the door. The door is a very small area. There may be 50 people in line, but he's not walking down the line normally. From my understanding, it was the patron we escorted out that hit Angie.
In the process of escorting him.
Well, you know, that's like saying,
Well, I'm not
Mr.
saying
Hamilton, Mr. Hamilton, that's like saying that it was the bullet that hit the victim, not the gun that caused the bullet to hit the victim. This, you know, your bartender was ejecting, according to your witness, was ejecting by holding on to both arms, throwing someone out of the bar for
But I would
stealing.
assume Richard would have had a better look at what happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't have assumed anything. I would have brought them both. Okay, you have medical bills?
Yes.
I'd like to see them. Did you have insurance?
At the time, my insurance was a little complicated. I was starting a new job, so...
Did your insurance cover this?
The insurance covered a small portion of it. I have the credit card statement for what I covered.
Well, you can tell me. How much did you cover?
$1,364.17. And since it went on my credit card, I also have copies of all the finance charges. Included in that is a collections notice that I received because Mr. Hamilton had accepted responsibility for the incident and explained to me that because of renovations he had just done to his bar, that he would be sending it to his insurance and taking care of it. At that time, I faxed all of this information to him, including the bills, and was under the impression that was in January.
January of 2007?
Yes, when I finally got a hold of him. It took a while to get through the bar to actually get his cell phone number.
Did you receive the faxed information from her, sir?
January. Well, I received a letter from her January 9th.
Did you receive the faxed information, her bills, etc.?
Yes, I did.
What did you do with them?
I have a file, or I put them in.
You didn't send them to your insurance company?
No, I didn't.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. You didn't handle this well, Mr. Hamilton. Goodbye. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
When I got the medical bills was the first time I tried to contact him.
I was surprised it took her 6 months.
Everyone at the bar wouldn't let me through to him, basically.
When she sent the letter, I wasn't available.
Until I finally got his cell phone number and was able to badger him enough to get him to talk to me.
Tired of getting taken advantage of every time somebody stubs a toe.
I originally only asked for compensation for my medical bills.
They want to sue a big company or a little company or sue somebody.
The rest is for his negligence, basically, in not paying what he owed me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Smith-Doucette versus Candido, step forward, please.
Catherine Smith-Doucette is suing her son's ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old Kristen Candido, for crashing an uninsured car that was in her name. Kristen says it's Catherine's fault that the car wasn't insured.
Ms. Doucette, this young lady used to be your son's girlfriend. I assume this is the son.
Yeah, that's it.
They are no longer a couple. But while they were a couple and while she was 17, she wanted a car. Was she living with you at the time?
She was living with my son.
Where's her family?
In Whitman, I think.
They live in Whitman, like a couple towns over.
And how old is your son?
21.
And how old was he when they started to live together?
Probably 19.
And she was?
17. 17.
Okay. In any event, you decided to help her out and get her a car so that she could continue to work. I don't know, were you going to school as well?
Yeah, I was working full-time and going to school at night as well.
Good. And there was an agreement that she would make the insurance payments on the car, which she did faithfully, at least the payments on the car. They broke up, you wanted the car back, but then you said, let her keep it. She was, in fact, making the payments. To make a long story short, because that's what I'm good at, she had an accident with the car. She hit another car. The accident was her fault. Is that right?
Yes.
And the insurance company notified you that there was no insurance on the car. The insurance had lapsed a month before, according to you. And since you are the car owner, couldn't be in her name, she was only 17, right. You are responsible for the damage to the other car, the car that she hit, and also the car that you subsequently repossessed, her car. So you want that money from her. Ms. Candido's defense is that you should have had insurance. That's your defense.
Right. Well, there was insurance, but it got canceled, and I had no idea because I wasn't living there anymore, and it all went to her house.
When did you turn 18?
April.
April of 2007.
2006.
And when was the accident?
September 11th. 2006.
That's a very long time ago.
Because I had talked to Kristen. She was at my ex-husband's house, and Shauna had seen her. So Shauna came up and got me because we lived next door to each other. And we went down there so I could get a hold of her because I didn't have her phone number. And she had told me then that she was making payments to the insurance company for the claim.
Can
she said
see the
she
claim,
had made a
please?
payment plan.
I mean, this happened September of 06. Did you subsequently get a letter that it was in collections?
In February of 07.
Nice. How many insurance payments did you make, Ms. Candido?
I made all of them until me and him broke up and she wanted the car back, so I...
Just a second. You made all of them until the two of you broke up. And when did you break up?
We broke up the end of July of 2006.
And when did you give her back the car?
September.
Actually had
Shh. Did you give her back the car before or after the accident?
After.
Oh. But you made all the payments on the insurance from the time you got the car.
Right.
Why did you let the payments lapse?
Because she wanted the car back, so I said, well, if we're going to set up a date to drop the car off, I'm not going to pay for a car that I'm not going to be in possession in the month of September.
But you were in possession of the car. Listen to me. You were in possession of the car, right?
Right.
Because you couldn't have had an accident with the car if you weren't in possession of it.
Right.
Right? So while you were in possession of the car, you had to insure it. Do you understand?
Yes.
But you didn't. If you don't have insurance and you're driving a car without insurance, you got to take care of the damage that you cause.
I had talked to her in August and said, all right, well, let's set up a date to drop off the car. And if I'm only going to have the car for half the month of September, then I'm not going to pay the full amount.
Fine, then you could have paid the insurance for the month of September and then said to her, I want half of the insurance back for September. You can't drive the car without insurance.
I did not know it didn't have insurance.
Well, you have to know it was your vehicle.
My name's not on any of the vehicles, so.
You were paying the insurance for all the time you had the car. If you were paying the insurance for all the time you had the car, you knew when the insurance payments were due. You had to pay them every month, every 2 months. How often did you pay the insurance?
Every month.
Then you pay the insurance every month while you're driving the car. Don't you understand that?
Yes.
All right, good. So you have to pay the $3,179.28. Is that right?
Yeah, that's for the woman's car, but then I also had to have my car fixed.
Let me see it. Don't do anything so stupid again, will you, please?
Oh, God, I know.
You know, I mean...
I know. I actually had to have the police get the car back from her. She didn't voluntarily give it to me.
Scandito, did you fib to me?
No.
Police seem to think so. You have an accident, and if it's your fault, it's not an on purpose. It's nothing that you intended to do. But when you're young and you take on the responsibility of having a car, you got to take care of it. So you have an accident, you have to take care of it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,079. That's all. Thank you.
All judges on the calendar in the matter of Reese versus Harden. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Reese, according to what I've read, you were riding your horse. Along with you was your son. I assume this was his son who was going to sit up straight and put his feet together. Your son who was riding an all-terrain vehicle, and your 2 dogs. And it is your claim that while you were on this ride, the defendant assaulted you, your son, your horse. I don't know about the dogs. I don't think he assaulted the dogs, although he tried to take one of the dogs. Mr. Harden says you were trespassing on his property. You've been told before that this was private property, and that you and or your son assaulted him. And you have a counterclaim. Where is this property located?
In Sheindlin, California. I have pictures to give you a mindset.
Okay.
And here's a couple aerials. And you can, it's plainly marked of the wash.
Go ahead, Miss Reyes.
I was riding my horse. My son follows me on his quad. My 2 dogs, they always go with us. We went down into the wash, and I saw this man standing in the middle of the wash. So I slowed my horse down. I went to ask him if he needed any help, because New Year's Day, everybody was out riding their bikes and motorcycles and all that stuff. And I figured he ran out of gas, couldn't get started. So I was going to actually ask him if he needed assistance. And he started pointing at me and yelling at me that, I talked to you before, I talked to you before. I go, no, you've never spoke to me before. And he's going, well, this is private property. You know this is private property. I'm going, no, I don't know that this is private property, because it's a waterway. He goes on and tells me that he doesn't appreciate people riding through his property, and especially with dogs that are off lead. I'm going, don't be we live out here in Booneyville. And that provoked him, and he lost his temper, and he started screaming at me, saying that he politely informed me that I was riding on his private property and that he didn't appreciate it. And just to get out of it, I just nudged my horse and I went to walk off, just to leave, let him go. And he pulls back his arm. He's losing total control. He pulls back his arm, trying to strike me. I'm on top of the horse, can't hit me. So he picks up rocks and sand and throws it at me. I duck into the horse. The rocks and sand hit my horse's butt and the back of my back of my head. And so my son and I are riding off. And I have a ding-dong dog. She doesn't have a violent bone in her body. Flipping over at his feet so he can scratch her belly. And I'm hollering at her, and she won't come because she thinks she's going to get some attention. So he scoops her up and starts walking to his house. And my son and I are still riding off. I go, fine, keep her, I don't like her anyway. Figuring that, okay, he'd just drop her and the whole incident would be over. He didn't. So I had to turn my horse around, go running back. My horse won't go near the person because he's scared. So I'm kicking my horse, trying to get to the dog to get the dog out of this man's hands. So I'm leaning off the horse, 14-hand horse isn't that tall, and I'm grabbing the scruff of my dog, and he's trying to hit me still. And
he was walking away. What do you mean he's trying to hit you still?
Okay, he's trying to hold the dog, and he's trying to hit me off so I can't get the dog. So I'm trying to get my dog because he's already said that his dogs will take care of my dog. as I'm riding off. That's why I turned around. And so he put down to the dog and grabbed my son and said, fine, I'll take him instead. Had him in a chokehold up off the ground. And his wife shows up behind him, says, I have it all on videotape. I says, well, you better have this on tape. And I'm yelling at her to help me to get this man to let go of my son. And she's yelling at him, let him go, you'll lose your son. And so he let my son go. And Mr. Hardin grabbed the bit of my horse. The horse reared up, fell over, landing on my leg. I was able to step off the horse landing on my leg. The horse got up. Don't ask me how, but I was still on him. And we just got out of there. Now, we were riding out of the wash, and I ride with a cell phone, so I called my husband. My husband called the police. We live way back in, so I had the police officer meet me on the corner.
You have a police report?
No, they would not release it to any of us. We all tried because of the minor in the police report.
Okay, Mr. Hardin, why don't you tell me your version of what happened?
Well, ma'am, on January 1st of this year, my wife and I was working out in our front yard. I heard first a motorbike back in my property. I have 8 acres, and I looked up and I seen a helmeted rider going down through that wash. So I decided to go. I thought it was the boys down there riding, tearing up my land down there. So I walked down to the middle of the wash, and I stood waiting to see if there were going to be other riders coming through, or if that rider was going to come back through, so that I could tell him, you know, that this is private property. As I was waiting, I saw this horse rider galloping along that back end of that wash. I'm still in the middle of the field down there, so I continued to walk down to the end of that part of the field to my property line. I met Mrs. Reese there, right at my property line on that sandy area. When she first walked up, was actually galloping, I put my hand up like this. And she just kind of slowed down, and then she got right up with me. I could see her a little better, and I says, haven't we talked before? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, did you know that this is private property? She's like, so? She's like, you don't have a sign up here. And I was like, well.
You're yelling at me, and
just don't interrupt him.
So I says, well, I'm telling you, this is private property. You need to turn around and come back the way you came. She says, no, I don't have to. And she starts to ride on through me. Just ride on through me. So I'm just standing there. I step to the side. As she's walking by me, she says, you. And so I stood there and I says, well, why am I? And you're trespassing on my property. She takes about another 10 steps, a few more yards, turns the horse around, says, you. And charged me. First she kicked the horse, she yelled, yah, and charged me. I stood there. When the horse got within an arm's length of me, I jumped to the side and grabbed the horse's reins. When I grabbed the horse's reins, she kicked at me twice. The second time she kicked at me, I let go of the horse's reins. At this time, her son drives up on his ATV. When he drove up on the ATV, she yells at him, run his over, kick his. And so I looked at Trevor, because she's yelling his name, that's how I knew his name. I looked at Trevor, he looked at me, and he didn't make a move. That's when she decided to still continue through my property. When she did that, there was some dogs there. One of the dogs stood by me, didn't lay on his back or anything, he just stood there on all fours next to me as they're leaving. I picked the dog up, and I hear her yelling, you can have the dog. So I just continue walking. I never turned around. All of a sudden, I hear the galloping, and I hear her galloping her horse. I still didn't turn around. She comes and she hits me on the side of my shoulder with her horse. Then she starts grabbing at the dog. At first, I didn't want to let the dog go, so I started turning around. Then she went down, she hit me again, she kicked me, and then she grabbed the horse or the dog by its ears and its head. When she did that, I released the dog because I thought that I feared for the dog, and I feared for my safety too, because you know that could really hurt a dog.
Whatever.
So I let the dog go. When I let the dog go, I told her right then, I said, you're trespassing, I want you to get off my property right now. She says, I don't have to, I have every right to be here. Then her son, Trevor, comes up again, gets off his motorbike, and starts walking over towards me. As he's walking towards me, she starts yelling, kick him in the, Trevor, kick his. And when Trevor gets about this far from me, I says, Trevor, I'm a professional martial artist. She yells out, he's a martial artist too, kick his.
Trevor, I want you to come up here, Trevor, right here, right near where Bird is.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm asking you a question, and I expect the truth. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want me to embarrass you.
No, ma'am.
I have the ability to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Patricia Reese claims neighbors Freeman and Laura Harden assaulted her and her son. The Hardens claim Patricia and her son were trespassing.
So I have a couple of questions for you, Trevor. I want you to think really hard. You remember that day?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times did your mother curse that day?
I do not.
Look at me and answer my question. How many times? And I want you to just remember, I'm asking you a question and I expect the truth. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want me to embarrass you.
No, ma'am.
I have the ability to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times did you hear your mother curse that day?
About 4, 5.
Okay. And what curse words did she use? How many times had you been on that particular property riding with your mother before?
Several times.
On your ATV?
Yes, behind the horse.
And it wasn't your intention to have a confrontation with anybody that day?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you were out just for a pleasant ride?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. When your mother started to curse at Mr. Harden, did you tell her not to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
How many times did you tell your mother not to curse at Mr. Harden?
The first couple.
What did you say to your mother?
I was like, Mom, come on, let's just get out of here. Let's go. It's over.
Mr. Harden hadn't cursed at your mother before she cursed at him. Isn't that right?
I don't know, ma'am.
You didn't hear him?
No, ma'am. I had to turn around on the road.
You didn't hear Mr. Harden curse at your mother before she cursed at him?
Before, no.
Why don't you go have a seat?
May I add something, please?
Nothing. How old are you?
39.
If you live to be as old as I am, you're not going to be as smart as I am.
He had him in the chokehold when I told him
Pay
to
careful attention to what I'm saying to you, madam. You behaved badly.
I was protecting my son and my dog.
No, you instigated an incident, Miss Reyes.
How? I don't understand how.
Well, if you don't understand how, at age 39,
I'm
madam,
in the middle of
I'm
boonies.
speaking!
Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
You may say ma'am to me all you like and butter would melt in your mouth all you like. You instigated a situation with your son present because you have a big, fresh, filthy mouth that you opened up to somebody who may have been overreacting because somebody was trespassing on his property. And he came out to you and he said, "You're trespassing on my property." Now, the correct response to that is, "I didn't know this was private property."
And I did try to leave.
You pay careful attention to me, madam. You opened up a big, fresh, filthy mouth to him. That's what you did. And anybody, the advantage of sitting on a horse, goes to grab their dog, you say, by the bottom part of the throat. He says by the top. You're sitting, I assume, on a big horse.
No, 14.
You're sitting on a pony?
Just about, yes.
Can I see your film, please?
You sure may.
I just want to see if this is a pony. That's all I want to see.
He's
Let me see
14
this
too.
pony. I don't want to hear from you.
Are you hitting my husband? Hold on, honey. Hey, I've got this all on video. You guys need to knock it off.
Freeman, don't. I'm recording.
You can't. It's the law to have your dogs on a leash. It's the law.
Freeman, your dogs have to be on a leash because they're not under voice control when you are on a horse. And no, I'm telling you that.
I'm recording.
They have to be on a leash. That's the law.
Freeman, I'm recording her.
Good.
You can sue her.
And that's where I'm leaving. That's the very first incident
All I
when
hear
I'm
you
leaving.
do is screaming. All I hear you do is screaming. I can't make out what you're saying, but I hear you screaming.
Surely not cuss words?
Madam, are you saying to me that your son was lying to me?
I did not call him the word, and I did.
Are you saying to me that your son was lying to me?
No, I'm not saying I didn't
Miss
cuss at
Reyes,
all.
Miss Reyes, you behaved badly. Stop complaining. How hurt were you?
I had some scratches on my
right.
back of my neck.
This whole incident.
I have county record that it is an easement.
Listen to me very
on record.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. You behaved
I'm not saying
badly. You behaved badly. You instigated an incident where none was necessary. Did you go to the doctor's office or did you go to the hospital?
I belonged to Kaiser. I went to Kaiser.
Did they keep you there?
No.
Did they keep your son there?
No.
Did you take your horse to a vet?
Yes, I did.
Did they keep your horse there?
No, they did not.
Good. Let me go back to you, Mr. Harden. Do you think that you behaved 100% appropriately that day?
Well, ma'am, I have spoken with her before, and I do, as far as the...
I believe that you probably did. Because according to her son, they've ridden on that property numerous times before. Okay? Unfortunately, the way I see your property line, you can start out going down a trail that has nothing to do with your property. Is that right?
Was other people's property.
Shh. Listen to me. I'm not talking about other people. You're not a monitor for everybody else.
Right.
You can start going along a trail that is not your property. In order to get to the other side, you have to pass through your property, and then it's either somebody else's property or county property. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you did was this narrow strip was the strip she went on.
Yes,
all right?
ma'am.
Now, you could have handled that in a variety of ways. When she opened up her big, fresh mouth to you, what could you have done, Mr. Hart? You could have gone back into your house and called the police and made a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. She would have been gone by then.
Maybe.
And I had spoken with her on 2 other occasions.
So, Mr. Hart, was it worth it?
No, because we have been very traumatized by this whole situation, because she filed a false police report on me, said that I pulled her down off of that horse, and I never pulled that horse down. I don't think it's physically possible for me to pull the horse down to the ground, whether it's right or on it. Also, ma'am, Trevor, like I said, Trevor kicked me, and he punched me, and I grabbed him. No. And when I grabbed him, and I was holding him, I didn't choke him. I never took him off the ground and choked him. I held him because I am a professional martial artist, and I'm responsible. I can be in a lot of trouble.
He was agitated, and his mother was hyping him up.
Yes.
Fortunately for Trevor, he at least went, and I didn't even want to get into the incident with him. It was bad enough that he had to tell me in front of his mother what he did. Tell me. Because that was, I assume, very unpleasant for him to have to tell me that. Isn't that right, Trevor?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course it was. So I'm not putting him in any further box, because his mother acted badly, and whatever happened as a result of that, she deserves. Period. End of discussion. What I'm telling you, Mr. Harden, is what you have to do is you have to say, I wasn't injured. You weren't injured.
I had bruises. I didn't.
You weren't injured.
No, I wasn't injured.
You weren't injured.
Bruises.
So
I had those.
What I'm saying to you, Mr. Harden, is could you have handled this situation differently? What I'm talking to, what I assume, reasonably intelligent people who came across each other on an afternoon, first of the year, New Year's Day, and could your actions that day have prevented a very, very unpleasant experience,
yes,
which the police refused to pursue, I assume?
Yes, they did refuse it. But they did come up to my house with the siren, and they were intending to arrest me.
They can't turn a siren
until she drove them to my house.
Mrs. Reyes.
She drove them to my house, ma'am.
You have a bad temper, madam.
He's lying through his teeth.
Mrs. Reyes, you have a bad temper. And I don't believe that you've been 100% honest with me. I think
the video showed 100% that I tried.
The video showed a big horse, not a pony. That's what the video showed, a big horse.
Ask my son, he's 14 too.
I saw it. It's a big horse. No. It's not a pony.
I didn't say he was a pony. I'm saying he's 14 too.
What you said to me a moment ago was almost like a pony.
I never said pony. I said he's 14.
Mrs. Reyes, do you hear the groans? I don't want to hear any groans. You have no case. The case is dismissed. Mr. Harden, you should have acted a little bit differently that day. She clearly instigated this incident, and I don't think that anybody is entitled to any money, financial recovery from anybody else. And the police refused to pursue this matter because they probably believe that you both behaved badly. So do I. Your case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim. That's all. Step out.
Versus Beard.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Gardner, it is my understanding, and this is some sort of convoluted arrangement for the purchase of a truck. You purchased a truck from Mr. Beard. You claim that he took the truck back. You want all the payments that you made to him on the truck returned to you. In addition, you say he took a dirt bike that belonged to, I think, your son.
Correct.
And he sold it. You want the money for the dirt bike. Mr. Beard has a whole different scenario about what happened with this truck and dirt bike. So let me make it simple for myself. You knew each other? You were friends?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's all I have to know. I don't need to go into the social history. I'm really not interested. You had a truck.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the year and make of the truck?
It was a 1992 Ford F-150 stick shift single cab pickup truck.
Okay. And you were in need of a vehicle. So you agreed to purchase the truck from Mr. Beard. When?
We made an agreement, I think it was around September or August.
What was the date?
It was August 12th. It was the same day I bought my new green truck.
Does that sound right?
That's not correct. It was before he bought his truck.
It was before you bought his truck?
Yeah, we were actually at
Just a second.
gathering.
How much before he bought the truck?
I think it's about a week or two.
Fine. And you gave him how much down?
It was $500.
So far, we agree on that?
No, ma'am.
How much did she give
She
you?
actually gave me nothing when I gave her the truck originally.
No, I have a copy of it. I have 2 counts of
But she
checks
did,
here.
in fact, give you money.
She did, yes.
How much did she give you at first?
At first, $500 check.
And when was that?
I received both checks of $500 increments by November 16th.
And did she have the truck prior to that?
Yes, ma'am.
When did she take possession of the truck?
Actually, a couple days after my original date, August 12th, that I gave her the truck.
So, according to her, it was the beginning of August. So you got possession. Listen to me, Miss Gardner. You got possession of the truck the beginning of August.
I have a check dated 8/14 of '06 for $500.
Fine. He says that you got possession of the truck before you gave him the check.
I'm not sure of the exact date, but that's probably close.
Fine. So let's say August 1st, you got possession of the truck. August 14th, you gave him $1,000.
I gave him $500 on 8/14 of '06 and another $500 on 10/13/06.
When were you supposed to give him the money?
We did not have a specific agreement. He said that I could pay him on it as I was able to.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that is.
Okay. So he was a nice guy. August, you gave him a check for $500. October, you gave him another check for $500, leaving a balance of?
It was about $1,100. I'd also given him $100 cash, $100 cash.
Forget about the cash.
Yeah.
So you
it'd
gave him
been
$1,000, leaving a balance of?
It'd be $1,400.
$1,500. Don't play with me.
Not including the $100 that I gave him.
Not including the $100.
Right. Correct.
In cash. You give him checks and then you give him cash?
Yep.
So you owed him $1,500. And you've already had the truck 4 months.
Yep.
Well, when were we supposed to complete the payments on this truck?
We had actually come up with the money, and we called him. My fiancé Robin called him and said, "We have the rest of the money for the truck. Would you like us to go ahead and bring it to you?"
When was this?
This was later, after we found out that I'd asked him, I said, "Can I sell the truck to someone else? It's not working out for me." And he said, "Fine, no problem."
Just a second. Starting November, you've made no further payments. When did you call him and tell him you wanted to sell the truck?
It was approximately February 15th is when we called to offer him the rest of the money, so it would have been about 2 weeks before that, so about February 1st.
So if you had the truck August, September, October, November, December, and January, 6 months.
Correct. I was also
Just a second.
making repairs on it.
I don't care whether you were making it. You were using it. Who was supposed to make repairs on it, Bird? You bought a truck that's 15 years old. 15 years old.
Yeah.
And you bought it for $2,500. You've had the truck now 6 months. You've paid less than half on it. And now, according to you, you call him up sometime in February.
Yeah.
And say to him, truck's not working out for me. Is that what you just said? I want to sell it. So, before you can sell something, you have to pay for it.
Well, I asked him, I said, I need to sell the truck. Is it okay if I go ahead and sell it to someone else and I'll give you the money that I owe you? He said, no problem, that's absolutely fine. Let me know when you have a buyer. And he had a friend of his that was also interested in the truck. So he came to my home and picked up the truck to show his friend.
When did he come to your home to... Shh, just a second. Yeah. When did he come to your home to pick up the truck?
It would have been sometime around between February 1st and February 15th, that 2-week period.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
So after that, he picked up the truck, took it to his home, and he said that he had a buyer for it, and no problem, I'll give you the $1,100 that you paid me on it, and no big deal. During that time, he had offered to pick up my son Zachary's dirt bike from the shop that I had taken it to. It was probably going to run me about $600 or $700 to get it fixed, and Andrew was very mechanically inclined and said, hey, let me pick it up, I'll take it to the house, fix it for Zachy, no problem. So that's what happened with the truck. So he fixed it, and I was calling him saying, hey, I need to get the bike back for Zach, and this and that. No return phone calls, text messaging, no return text messages, nothing. So on February 15th, he had possession of the truck.
We called him and said, we have the rest of the money. Let's go ahead and we'll give you the money for the truck and just be done with it. You know,
You'll have a chance in a minute. Stop raising your hand. It's annoying and it's distracting. Go ahead.
I said, we'll just give you the rest of the money for the truck. You know, let's just get it done, you know. And then after that, it was February 25th, I called and I talked to him about, or I sent him a text message and phoned him saying, I'm coming by to get Zachary's dirt bike. And at that time, he sent me a text message saying that he sold it, which I don't know how he could sell a dirt bike that he didn't have the title to without it being a legal transaction. So the bike at no point in time was ever collateral for that truck. He was doing me a favor. Actually, he's doing Zachary a favor in fixing the dirt bike. We never had an agreement that it was collateral.
So what do you want?
I want the money that I gave him for the $1,100 for the truck, and I want the money for the dirt bike to replace the dirt bike for my kid.
Well, so that means that you used his truck for 7 months. You used it, you put mileage on it, you did whatever you had to do. You used his truck for nothing?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't, the truck is, it would be nice to get that money back. I want to replace my son's dirt bike.
Just a second. Well, I'm trying to understand, madam. You purchased something, you didn't finish paying for it, you used it for 7, 8 months, and now you want the money back that you gave him, which was less than half of the amount of the truck. I mean, let's break it down.
The reason I'm asking for that is because he said, hey, no problem, when I sell the truck or you sell the truck, when you find a buyer for it, I'll give you the money back. No big deal.
You know, I'm going to listen to him, but you know why I question what you say to me?
Why?
Because you told me that on February 1st, you called him and you said, truck's not working out, right? And you said, I had the money because February 15th, you called and said to him, listen, let me come by and give you the money for the truck.
I actually didn't have the balance of the money until February 15th.
How were you getting the balance of the money?
My fiancé, Robin.
Yes, your fiancé, Robin, was what?
Giving me the money.
Well, why couldn't he give you the money February 1st? Why didn't you say to him, let me come by and pick up the truck, and say to him, no, I'm going to have the balance of the money in 2 weeks, and then I'm going to sell the truck.
Well, I know that Robin had tried to call several times and offer that, and I wasn't present during all of those conversations.
No way. Baloney.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
After I repossessed it, the tailgate was smashed, my bed liner was scratched, the side of the truck. It was very apparent that they were bitter about me taking the truck and smashed it.
You have pictures of it?
And later today,
she asked me to watch her dog when she went upstairs to put the mail away. I was playing with the dog outside. The dog went under my leg. The leash wrapped around my ankle and I tripped and I fell on top of the dog.
Allison Gardner claims former friend Andrew Beard repossessed a truck he sold her. She is suing for the return of payments made and for the cost of a dirt bike he sold without her permission.
Okay. Now, Mr. Beard.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's hear it, sir.
Well, first off,
who's this person?
This is my girlfriend, Danielle.
Okay, because she's been dying to tell me something. I'm going to let her talk in a minute.
She
Go
wasn't
ahead.
even here. She was living with a guy in Reno.
Okay. Well, first off, her
Just a
dates
second.
are way off.
Do not interrupt him. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Her dates are actually incorrect on just about everything, unfortunately, except for when I did take the truck back. That was correct. Beginning of February, I actually brought my roommate, Sean, at the time. But regarding the phone call with Robin, I was actually called when I took the truck back, and I believe he actually did ask me to pay $500 right then, which he said he would give me a check.
Why did you go and take the truck back, sir?
Because at that point...
Look at me. Don't look down
Okay. At that point in time, I'd found out that Rob was driving the truck, who unfortunately had 3 DUIs and should not have been driving.
That's him.
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down.
And which I do have a police report for. And on top of that, I hadn't received money. I had been trying to call her and get the money. I was sick. I got injured in a rodeo. Told her many times I needed it.
When for the first time did you ask her for the money? After October?
It was actually after the first payment of $1,000 it's actually before December. Between November and December, I'd been asking her multiple times that I needed money.
And what was her excuse for not giving it to you?
Well, the few times that she actually did call me back, it was she just didn't have it. She wasn't working. She was working a different job. Rob was trying to work to get the money, but he had to pay off for classes for his DUIs and just was not able to get the money.
Just a minute. Okay, so you went to pick up the truck because you were repossessing it.
Yes, ma'am.
Title had never passed, I assume.
No, ma'am.
You had ownership of the
Yes,
truck
ma'am.
until it was paid off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me about the dirt bike.
The dirt bike was actually given to me in end of August, and I was supposed to repair it like she had said. That was correct. And it actually was staying at my house because with her house she was renting, it just was cluttering up her garage, and I was still working on it, which was fine. And by the time the truck transaction was starting to go south, I had informed her I'd feel more comfortable if it stayed at my house until it was sold as collateral, and she did agree upon that. And and it was considered just to stay at my house, and I was going to fix it and had every intention on giving it back if my truck was either fully paid off or given back to me in the condition I had given it to them.
Okay, so you took the truck back.
Yes, ma'am.
First thing, let me tell you, Mr. Beard, she's not getting the money back for the truck. She used your truck. She did not fulfill your contract. She is not entitled to any money back. It's not as if she took it and had it for one day. She took it and used it, and he drove it. No question in my mind, he drove it. My concern is with this bike. So now you have the truck. Did you sell the truck?
No, ma'am, I traded it.
You traded it for what?
It was hard selling it because when I had taken the truck back, it was at my house. I was in the process of repairing it, which it extensively needed, and they had came to my house when I was in Chico on business, called me, quickly left a message saying, I'm picking up the truck, I'm leaving my car for you, before I even could call them back and said, that's not acceptable, I'm working on this.
What do you mean they're
route."
leaving that car for you?
They just said they would leave her car with the keys. I had no idea. By the time I got back home, there was her car with keys under the tire and my truck gone.
What kind of car did you leave?
A 99 Infiniti G20.
What did you leave it for?
Andrew had known that I was going to use the truck to move. I was moving out of my house. It was.
Oh, just a second.
At that
So
point
you
in
were
time.
using. Just a
So I
second.
picked up
you
the
picked
truck
up
and used it to
hey,
move.
you picked up the truck to use it.
Yes.
When?
I don't know the exact date.
Do you know
but
the date?
I don't. I'm horrible with dates.
Early February.
Early February,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am.
It was February. So she left her car and picked up the truck after you had repossessed it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it. When you say you traded it in, what did you trade it in for?
I traded it for a boat because I felt at that time I can get more money after repairing the boat than I could the truck. Because when I received the truck after she had taken it, after I repossessed it, the tailgate was smashed, my bed liner was scratched, the side of the truck. It was very apparent that they were bitter about me taking the truck and smashed it.
You have pictures of it?
I have pictures of how it looked. Unfortunately, I do not have pictures of how it looked after.
Well, why didn't you take pictures afterwards, sir?
Oh, I traded it as soon as it was messed up.
Well, then that's a problem that you have,
That was
sir.
my problem, yes, ma'am.
It certainly is a problem. Where's the dirt bike?
The dirt bike I sold after that, too.
Well, that was a mistake.
Yes, ma'am.
What year dirt bike was this?
She claimed it was a 2004 and that she had title.
You have the title,
I have the
too?
title right here.
I'd like to see it.
It's an 04 Honda CRF 50.
Let me see. Okay. How much did you sell it for?
$550, which was totally going to cover the mud in my radiator, the damage to my tailgate, the smashed spark plugs, and the condition overall the truck was running.
I don't know what these things cost. I have no idea.
I actually have a blue book statement.
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I also have an estimate from Roseville Cycle Center that would be
I'd
the
be-
replacement value as well
I'll
as.
use Blue Book.
It shows the retail and MSRP in 2004 of what that bike went for.
Okay. SRP in 2004 was $1,100. Retail now is $749, and the average trade-in was $562. But if she went to purchase it, at this point she'd have to pay $750. Is that what I'm understanding from this?
Yes, in an excellent condition. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What was wrong with it when you gave it to him to fix?
My son had got water in the tailpipe when he was washing it, so it just needed to be cleaned out.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
I didn't think so. Otherwise, why would he have?
I'm not very good with
Otherwise,
dirt
why
bikes,
would he
so I
have
don't
it?
know.
Otherwise, why would he have it since August? If all you had to do was just clean out the tailpipe.
It was running before that.
What had to be done with the bike?
The tailpipe did have to be cleaned out, the inside of the motor as well, because unfortunately it had smoke and oil burnout in it and mud, again, in the engine.
Fine. You shouldn't have sold her bike. Shouldn't have sold her bike. I understand your frustration, but you shouldn't have sold her bike. She doesn't get her $1,100 back, and she doesn't get what she's looking for, which was $2,700, because that's ludicrous. She gets $550, which is the trade-in value of the bike, and that's what you got for it.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $550. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may
Oh,
step out.
excuse me. You were dying to say something. Is there anything that you were dying to say?
No, he covered it.
Perfect. Thank you.
When I got sick, I told them I needed the money,
We just had a different agreement than what's in his brain.
and they just had no feelings and no need to help me like I did them.
You know, it just was a he said, she said thing, and it got a little out of hand.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Munoz versus Milosevich. Step forward.
22-year-old Christina Munoz is suing her former friend, 21-year-old Erica Milosevich, for for accidentally killing her Maltese puppy when she fell on her.
Miss Milosadov, you had a terrible accident with the plaintiff's puppy. You want to tell me what happened?
I went to visit the plaintiff in
Your
Vegas.
friends?
My friends for the weekend. And we were outside. She went to go get her mail. We took her little Maltese dog, Isis. And when we came back, she asked me to watch her dog, left me responsible to watch the dog when she went upstairs to put the mail away. I was playing with the dog outside. The dog went under my leg. The leash wrapped around my ankle, and I tripped and I fell on top of the dog. Unfortunately, it collapsed the dog's ribs and punctured the dog's lungs, and it died on the way to the hospital.
And you want her to pay for the dog?
Yes.
And?
I don't think it's fair. It's an accident that happened. It's a responsibility that shouldn't have been left on me. I was watching it as a favor for her while she went upstairs.
You could have declined.
I could have, but I didn't because I didn't even think anything was going to happen.
Of course not. Let me ask you this question. What's your first name?
Erica.
Erica. How did you get to your friend's house?
I drove.
Let's say instead of the dog wrapping itself around your legs, you accidentally ran over her dog with your car.
It'd still be an unfortunate accident, but maybe then I'd feel responsible. But this is an accident. I accidentally fell and tripped over.
You mean
the
it was
dog.
a double accident?
Yeah.
Well, you're responsible. You're walking this puppy on the leash. You're holding the puppy on the leash. It's your responsibility to see to it that the puppy doesn't entwine itself around your legs. You didn't mean for it to happen. You were trying to pay attention, I assume, but you didn't do a good enough job.
But it wasn't my responsibility.
It
though.
was your responsibility. You assumed the responsibility. Now, sometimes things happen that you have no control over. But in this case, you had control over it. It was due to your negligence that the puppy got entwined in your leg. The puppy can't think about that. You're supposed to think about it. I really am trying to explain it to you so that you'll understand it, because I don't think that you are a bad person. I just think that you are misguided. So I'm trying to give you guidance. How much was the puppy?
It was $14.99.
Did you replace her?
Well, we got a gift from my parents saying that we got a new Maltipoo. So it wasn't the full Maltese, it was the Maltese and the poodle.
They're cute.
They are cute. They are very cute. But, I mean, the Maltese was a purebred compared to now it's a half-breed, so.
Well, Maltese and poodles are wonderful little dogs because they have a great coat that you don't have to deal with as much, right?
Yes.
And they don't yap as much.
No, she does not bark at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I had Maltese.
Oh.
I know. They bark all the time. All the time. Anyway, you owe the price of the dog, $1,499 judgment for the plaintiff. Are you still friends?
Probably not after this.
Well, you should be. It was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident.
It was an accident. It's an accident that she was responsible for, but it was still an accident.
Yes.
That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. Number 152 on the calendar in the matter of Heath versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Mr. Heath, Mrs. Coleman is your neighbor, and this is her son.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
You are 17.
Yes, ma'am.
But large for your age.
Yes.
And it is your claim that Miss Coleman's son assaulted you.
Assault and battery, ma'am.
Depends on where you live. And you want to be compensated. And Miss Coleman and her son say that you started it, and he just finished it. So, I'm going to start with you. What's your first name?
Marquise.
How long have you and Mr. Heath been neighbors?
I don't know how long he's lived there, but I lived there for 2 years.
How long have you been there, Mr. Heath?
Since May of 2006.
So a little less than a year.
Affirmative.
A year. Have you gotten along for that year that you've been living there?
Up until recently.
What happened recently, Mr. Heath?
On April 25th of 2007, I was outside my door. Mr. Peppers was also outside his door. He was calling me a pedophile. He was saying I should never, never, never say the name of his little sister. I admit I may have started behavior that was more of an interest to a proctologist. But
I don't know what you mean by that, sir.
I was upset that being called a pedophile after 30 years of being a registered nurse here in California.
So he was calling you names and told you never to mention the name of his sister. What did you say to him?
Well, he challenged his authority by claiming that if I said the name of his sister one more time, that he would beat me down. Being that I was very upset because of the general rumor within the neighborhood of me being a pedophile, I did say her name. Her name is Sanji.
And then what happened?
I repeated it a few times as he came
So you taunted
closer.
him. You were a grown-up.
Yes, I was an angry
You were a
grown-up.
grown-up. You were an angry grown-up.
Yes.
And he had called you a vile name.
Quite quite, especially when I have no record anywhere.
I understand you have no record anywhere.
Okay.
Got it. So you were taunting him, and what did he do?
He pushed me, and then,
How did he push you, Mr. Heath?
I do believe, I will take his word for it, that he belly bumped me.
Okay.
I turned to catch myself, and I was struck on the back. I cannot say exactly if it was him or his friend LJ, but I did sustain an injury to my back.
Him?
He was right next to him, shoulder to shoulder.
So they both came over to you after you had repeated his sister's name several times?
Affirmative.
And he belly bumped you. When you turned around, somebody hit you in the back.
Yes, well, turning around in that, I was trying to catch myself as I was falling.
And as a result of that, were you injured?
Yes, I have a report from my chiropractor that I have injuries from T6, that's thoracic spine, vertebrae 6 to 7. These were significant enough for me not to be able to work for 2 months, which I have documentation from my employer of such.
All right, Mr. Pep, let me hear you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. On the day of that incident, the day before, we had got into like 2 days before we got into an argument.
About what?
I was sitting outside because my friends stayed next door to him, and I was sitting outside talking to them, and then my sister.
Talking to whom?
My friends that stay next door to him. And so I'm sitting outside, and then my mom calls me, and she sent my sister to come get me. And my sister comes, and she says, "Marquise, your mom wants you." And then so he reaches over, and she's in between these stairs. And he reaches over and pats her on the head. And I say, "Man, don't touch my sister."
Why not?
Because, like, I don't know what it is, but ever since he's moved there, I've been, like, real uncomfortable around him. And he's, like, he acts real, friendly and stuff towards kids, like, little girls. And I just, with my sister, I keep, I'm overprotective about my sister. And so...
But he just touched her on the top of the head.
I know, but it was, like, the way how he did it. Like, he rubbed his hand through her hair. And, like, and I didn't like the way it happened, but I wasn't disrespectful to him. I just said, can you don't...
Fine, you said, don't touch my sister. That's all you said to him.
Yeah, but as I said that, my mom walked out, and I told her what happened, and then so they got into an argument, and...
Why did you get into an argument, Miss Coleman, with him?
As I walked out, I heard George yelling at my son, and all I heard was the end of the conversation, and I asked him...
What did you hear?
He was calling my son ignorant and a pervert for saying what he said or whatever.
Well, did you say anything to him?
I said, don't touch my sister's head, and he called me a pervert because he said that I was looking at him as that, like, I don't know why he said it, but he just called me a pervert because I told him not to touch my sister.
And then?
That's when I came out.
Right.
And I heard them arguing, and my son said, George touched Sanji, and that's when I went to tell him he doesn't have to put his hands on her, do not touch her.
Did your son tell you how he touched her?
No, well,
why didn't you get that information, Miss Coleman?
I did. When I came over, he said Sanji, he touched Sanji on the head. And right then, when she said he touched Sanji, I just verbally told him, to keep his hands off my daughter, and I asked my children to come into our yard.
Okay, so that was a couple of days before.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened, Mr. Pepper?
And then the day of the incident, we were outside, we played basketball and all of that outside, and George comes out and was playing the guitar to the little girl in the window, and I was just sitting there.
Playing a guitar?
Yeah, playing a guitar and singing to her. But he's sitting there playing a guitar to her, and that's not my relative or anything, so I didn't say anything about that. And somehow he got into an argument with other kids that was on the block, and so they were arguing, and somehow they said to him something about, oh, you touch kids and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I touch a lot of kids. And he started naming off kids on the street, like girls and stuff that he's touched. And then he somehow said Sanji's name, my sister. And then so that was when I got into the conversation. And I asked him, I said, man, don't talk about my sister.
Did you call him a pedophile?
No, I've never called him a pedophile.
Did you call him a pervert?
No, I've never called him a pervert.
What did you call him?
I didn't call him anything. I just said, do not touch my sister.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So I had chest bumped him, and he just stumbled back and hit the wall and purposely fell to the ground. And he made a lot of weird noise and stuff that, you could tell that it was being acted.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. George Heath claims neighbor 17-year-old Marquise Peppers falsely accused him of being a pedophile and then assaulted him.
Okay, and what did he say to you?
And he got into an argument with me, calling me a pervert and that I'm immature and stuff because I'm calling him out on stuff. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. All I said was, don't touch my sister. And then so we're sitting here, we're arguing. And I stepped back, and my friend was with me also, and he was talking to him. He was like, there's no need for you to say her name. And I pulled him back, and we're about to walk away. And George says it again. He was like, oh, what do you mean, Sanji? And I was like, don't say her name. And then so he takes off his glasses, and he untucks his shirt, and he steps up to me, and he says, what do you mean, Sanji, Sanji, Sanji? And so I had chest bumped him, and he, you know, it was like a fake stumble type, and he just stumbled back and hit the wall and purposely fell to the ground. And he made a lot of like weird noise and stuff that, you know, he could tell that it was being and like some kids was laughing at him and stuff because he was acting it out. And his wife said, I'm calling the police. And then so I looked at him, and then I turned around and my sister was calling me. So I turned around, picked up my sister, and then I told my friend, I was like, let's go. And then we walked to his house.
Mr. Pepper.
Yes, ma'am.
What facts do you have that suggest to you that Mr. Heath's intentions with regard to the kids who play in the neighborhood, either singing to them or patting your sister on the head, is anything other than just genuine caring for children?
It's because of the way that he does it. It's real weird, you know. I don't feel comfortable around him. And for that, I don't feel that my sister should be around him. I've never been disrespectful to him or anything.
You assaulted him, sir.
No, ma'am, but
yes,
prior
you
to the
did.
incident,
You assaulted him, sir. He was taunting you, which is not very smart of a grown-up man to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Not very smart to a big 17-year-old, you know, who certainly outweighs him and certainly outmuscles him. But you have no right to put your body on him in any way. You should have been smarter, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
but I had to confront the lie.
Mr. Heath, have you ever been arrested for a sexual offense on a child?
No, ma'am.
The next question is irrelevant, therefore, and you've never been convicted. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
You have any children of your own?
Yes, ma'am. We have 4 biological children and 1 foster child.
How old is the foster child?
She is 32.
So you raised her?
Affirmative.
And your 4 children, how old are they?
We have a boy who's now Sergeant George Heath of the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment. We have twin boys, Pete and Repeat. One is Staff Sergeant Joseph Heath of the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Our other son is Specialist David Heath, who recently was last week was taken out by shrapnel in Baghdad, but he's doing just fine. He'll be in the United States today. And then my daughter, Rebecca Heath, she's 23. She's a certified nurse's aide and a senior in health administration.
Have any of these children visited your home?
Yes.
You live in your home with your wife?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
31 years, ma'am.
Mr. Pepper.
Yes, ma'am.
We are supposed to rejoice in the differences among people in this country. That means that not everybody is made the same.
I know that.
Some people say affirmative rather than yes. Some people may appear to be, to you, a little peculiar, but that doesn't make them a pervert.
No, ma'am,
That doesn't make them strange. That wouldn't inspire me to say to somebody who's the father of 4 children, don't put your hands on my sister. Now, if you said to me that he hit her in the behind or tapped her in the butt, I would say, go over there and you can knock his lights out. But what you told me was he patted her on the head, and you just didn't like the way that looked. And you went outside, and all you heard was your son saying to you, he touched your daughter, and you blew. You didn't listen. I think that what you have to do is celebrate the differences amongst people, Mr. Pepper. Mm-hmm. You have perfect right to say to your daughter, listen, I don't want you to go over to neighbors, strangers, or whatever. But your son has absolutely no business, despite the fact that Mr. Keith was not smart.
Yes, ma'am.
Has no right to go over there and chest bump him, belly bump him, or whatever other kind of bump him he did. His lawsuit asks for $1,700. He's going to get that. You have a counterclaim. Counterclaim is that he filed false charges against you with Child Protective Services. When did he file charges against you with Child Protective Services?
Per the letter, it says on 5/2 that there was an investigation.
And what makes you think that it was Mr. Heath who filed those charges?
Okay, when we went to court for our restraining order, that was denied. Mr. Heath subpoenaed the CP.
Who went to court for a restraining order?
George filed a restraining order on me and my son.
Well, he should have.
Right.
Your son used force against him.
Right.
Was it granted?
No, they were both denied.
Oh, that's ridiculous. In my judgment, it's ridiculous. What grounds do you have to file for an application for a protective order against Mr. Heath?
Because when the incident happened, my daughter constantly goes over there, and it's like he's everywhere my daughter is, he's behind her. Like it's in a place that he goes across the street that my daughter plays at. He's never over there, but every time my daughter is over there, George is over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like it seems like everywhere my daughter is, I see George, normal places where he doesn't go. He's normally in his yard. Like he comes in my yard and uses the water hose. He was told by the judge, he was told by the police officers that he keeps calling on me to stay away from us. We were told to stay away from each other. I agreed. But he constantly, like, if my daughter's in the yard, I don't let her out the yard because of the situation. I'll make her stay in the yard and ride the bike. George will come over, open the gate, and use the water hose, or, you know, just do stuff to, you know, to have me try to have confrontation towards us.
What proof do you have that Mr. Heath called?
I don't have proof that he called, but for our restraining order, he had all the information. How does he know that CPS came to my house? When we went to court, he filed a subpoena for the CPS worker to come to our restraining order. That's how I assumed that he called, because...
Did you have that information, Mr. Heath?
The reason I know that Ms. Johnson is a child protective worker is that she was at Ms. Coleman's door, and when I saw her, and I said, I don't think Ms. Coleman's there. She asked, you know, who are you? I identified myself and where I live, and then she identified herself, and we went into my apartment, and we had a discussion concerning, well, actually, one of the things we discussed is whether or not I am a pedophile. Obviously, I'm here, not arrested, so she felt there was no basis for the allegation that I'm a pedophile.
Did you make a call to Child Protective Services, sir?
Can I leave that under confidentiality?
See what I'm saying?
Well,
yes or no? I'll answer if you want me to.
The point is, Mr. Heath, if you had grounds in your judgment to place a call to Child Protective Services, because that's her counterclaim, she says that you had no basis. She believes that you did call.
Okay, that would be a different question. Would I have, if I called, would I have a basis? The answer is yes, I would.
Well, tell me what basis you had if you had called.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm sorry, I don't consider that very funny. The basis I have is that I have seen her use the most unusual type of child rearing, curse words at her daughter. I've seen her with an open hand strike her daughter in the head. Also, I am quite suspicious that her daughter has some type of minimal brain damage. I'm not sure if it's cerebral palsy like my wife.
Shh, quiet. You can't be quiet, you'll leave. Do you understand? Good. Go ahead.
I am not sure if it's cerebral palsy, or I'm not sure if it's attention deficit disorder, but I know she has fine motor coordination problems because one of the things I have done with the children is to plant a garden. And when Sanji came up to plant, she could not follow my simple instructions that I could get children half her age to do. So I'm just...
Put your hand down. Go ahead.
I am quite concerned. I do know...
Okay, so that would be the basis. If you had called...
If I had called.
If you had called, that would be the reason that you called.
Affirmative.
Go ahead.
Okay. As far as me, the allegation was that I called my daughter the B word and I hit her with an open fist. My daughter is really... I would never... I do not use that word. I don't like that word. I don't like to be called that word because my mother called me that, and I would never call my children that, no matter how angry or what we were going through. So that's just ridiculous. And as far as me hitting my daughter with an open fist, there's just no
open hand.
Yeah, open hand. There's no way. I don't. You can ask my son. She doesn't even get in trouble. So I don't even know.
Your counterclaim is denied. You owe Mr. Heath $1,700, which is what he's asking for this assault. Mr. Heath may be a peculiar man. He may not have exercised good judgment when he taunted you by repeating your sister's name. It doesn't give you license to put your hand or your body, and you have a big body, sir, on another human being. You have no right to do that. As I said, there is no indication today that Mr. Heath is anything other than maybe a slight bit odd.
I resemble that remark.
Right. But that's it. And we celebrate that kind of stuff in this country. You have an absolute right to say to your daughter, I don't want you to play with Mr. Heath. I don't want you alone with him. Don't go to his house. But you can't put your hands on him. Do you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,700.